Good afternoon, Venice Indian faithful. Josh Grant and John Massoni live atop GRV Pink Stadium here in Fort Lauderdale as your Indians take on the Lakeland Dreadnaughts in the 4S State Championship game. And it's been a great 24 hours. It's been a lot of anticipation getting here, but John, we're finally here again.
Absolutely. I'm doing this all over again. Same hotel, same everything. It's been sort of a deja vu moment, but except we're in white, and the other team is the home team, the Lakeland Dreadnaughts, and the perennial power that they are, and we're looking forward to a great contest today.
So any of those watching this pregame show live, we are on the visitors' side of the stadium. You can park in the yellow lots. Those are the lots designated for all fans to park in. Last night they said blue. Today it's yellow. You're on the visitors' side of the field, which is the opposite side of the field from last year. And judging by last night's attendance, they had a pretty good crowd here, almost 10,000 people to watch Miami Central and I'm blanking right now. American Heritage last night in the 2M state championship, and I think we can beat that. I think the Venice Indian faithful can beat that. So coming up at 12:30, we hope to have Coach live on the sidelines with our first on-field.
Yes.
What a day to pick an on-field.
Yeah, just try something new today, but today I think is the right day to do it. Coach was more than happy to accommodate us. I think everybody's got this palpable nervous energy going right now, so I think Coach might be a little bit of a therapy for him to just talk to us for a few minutes before the game starts.
Well, so how we got here, the Lakeland Dreadnaughts defeated Osceola last week, 2 weeks ago, 14-7 to improve to 13-0. In what was a very close game up until the end, Lakeland scored late and was able to defeat the Osceola Cowboys. The Indians 9-3 defeated Buchholz 42-35. It was quite the edge of your seat kind of second half, but
absolutely.
Brooks Bentley and Gator Wilder led us the rest of the way towards today's state championship game.
What a tale of actually not two halves, but like maybe even two quarters, you might call it, where we go up 28-0 on them, and it looks like we're right about the running clock then, and that they're about to be over with, and then score a touchdown. And we talked to Coach Shannon during our ride back and forth from the stadiums and to here this week, and he had mentioned, he's like, my goodness, when they scored that first touchdown, I felt that maybe the floodgates could open up because they had such a powerful offense with such a dynamic quarterback. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. And so it got to be 28-28. And I will say the play of the game would have been Gator Wilder's 55-yard run.
Absolutely.
Off the kickoff, then a 10-yard touchdown run. And it seemed to kind of invigorate not only the offense but the defense and our crowd, because our crowd was starting to feel that trepidation about what was going on.
Do you remember the Marshawn Lynch run against the Saints in Seattle, which broke a seismic record, I believe?
Decimals beyond belief. Yeah.
And that was honestly kind of how it felt. Is our play clock kept glitching because the fans were getting into it. They were so excited. So that is how we got here. If you're watching this on our Facebook pages today, Venice Indian Football Facebook, Venice High School Facebook, and the VTV News YouTube page, today will be a graphic-only broadcast. Unfortunately, we cannot bring you the video stream of the game. So you will see throughout today's game, you will see this on the screen during the game, but I will update you live with the scores as we go. Score quarter, you'll always know what is going on. If you want to purchase the broadcast, you can buy it for $9.99 through the FHSAA. It's a Spectrum-led broadcast, so not as good a quality as Vibrant Aspect Media, but close, as they have brought us each and every game, and thanks to Josh and Francis for their hard work all year. But it's a 1-2 show here
today,
live from DRV Pink Stadium. We suggest turn the volume down on Spectrum and listen to us. It was real close.
Yeah, we can almost time it. We're timing it up pretty close as far as our delay is concerned, but we're pretty good to go. And I'll tell you right now, just to kind of give you a feel for how everything is right now, it's a little overcast today as opposed to last year's sunny day we had. But overcast, temperature is great. There is a chance of rain today, but I think as the day has gone on, the rain chance is being pushed further and further into the afternoon. So hopefully there is no weather for both teams. I think I'd like to see a game that's played on a good field.
When we first got here, they said it was going to rain at 12 and then start to rain at 3, and we're here at 12, and it's misting just a little bit, but hopefully the field conditions will remain solid. There's been a lot of games on this turf, and really with the Indians running game, that can help the good guys here. Let's take a look at your head-to-head graphic between these two teams. In 5 games since 2000, the Indians have a 3-2 advantage over the Lakeland Dreadnaughts, including the last victory in 2020, a 41-20 win. And if you look at 2000, that was the state semifinal that sent us to the state championship game.
Right.
The Indians' first state championship in school history.
But we have played them, Josh, in a number of spring games.
Right, I'm looking at just regular season.
But people say, "Oh, didn't we play them?" We have played them in spring games. So, and the coaching staffs have always had a good rapport with each other. I would say it's a rivalry as much as a rivalry can be, kind of across the state in some ways.
Healthy rivalry.
But a healthy rivalry. Very, very healthy amount of respect from both sides. Coach Bill Castle being the guy that he is. Obviously, we talked about this in many different occasions. He's the coach of the century in the state of Florida.
Well, let's talk about Coach Bill Castle and John Peacock. Head-to-head, Bill Castle has been the head coach of Lakeland since 1976, a 473 and 97 record, 7 state titles. And your Indians football coach, John Peacock, since 2007-16 season, 160 and 39, 2 state titles. Let's hear what Coach and Coach had to say about Bill Castle and the relationship there on Tuesday night's pregame or coaches show.
Oh, again, we have a bit of a history with Lakeland. Played him in our 2000 run to the state championship. Have played him in other times and forms.
I think
and
my
everything
first
else.
Lakeland game, I was like 8 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, went to Lakeland, watched Manatee play Lakeland. Maybe I was 9, maybe 8 or 9. I think I was 8.
Okay.
But so
they've been
Bill Castle was still the coach,
and they were a powerhouse back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've been on a run that you would say unprecedented. They've never really been irrelevant at any point in time in the last maybe 35, 40 years.
Yeah, I mean he's the greatest coach to coach
in the state of Florida.
State of Florida.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I personally can't count private schools.
Yeah.
I think you got to prove yourself in a public school setting.
And again, even with that, I don't think it makes much difference. I think he's just been that good for that long.
He's phenomenal.
And again, we're saying about him being such a good coach. It's high praise and it's warranted. I mean, in the manner that the program. I mean, I know how you are. You like to seek out the best competition wherever you can, and I think they probably do the same thing. I would think there's something similar to that. So the fact that we play them quite often. Just the fact that we play them in the spring,
every spring,
just goes to show that the two teams, there's an equal amount of respect for the program, and I think it's high praise to you for that team wants to come down here or have us come up there to play them as far as their spring games are concerned, and then of course on occasion in the regular season as well.
41 years. I mean, if you're at one place for 41 years, that means you haven't been fired in 41 years.
Yeah.
So you have to be
that good.
Yeah.
Because again, you talk about it. I mean, he set the bar, but the expectations are high. He has to live up to his own reputation.
Well, I don't think you can fire Bill Castle. I think if you talk about firing Bill Castle, that you're probably going to get fired.
There's probably a lot of people in Lakeland that their heads would spin around 360 and they'd look at you funny if that was the case.
Yeah, you'd probably go in to fire him and you'd walk out fired.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
what was I thinking?
He'd be like, "What are we talking? You're fired." You know.
Hey, I'm gonna try to get myself fired. I'm gonna fire Bill Castle.
Yeah. The superintendent says, "You know what? I don't like Bill Castle. I'm gonna go fire him." And he walks out of the meeting and he's done. He's looking for a new job. Yeah.
Got my box in my backpack and I'm out of here.
Exactly.
Whatever's left in it.
Exactly.
So, but again.
So a lot of respect there from Coach Peacock. Obviously, Bill Castle, coach of the century. He's learned a lot in playing Lakeland. What do you see in Coach Peacock that you see in Bill Castle?
Well,
vice versa.
Well, so I'll say this: I think there's a consistency to both coaches. You have Coach Peacock, who he knows what he wants to do. He understands his plans. You'll hear. Let's just say you hear sort of the peanut gallery, and we'll start to say, well, why does he want to run up the middle, or why does he coach
the armchair quarterbacks?
Yeah, but there's a reason behind this because you can talk about all the different strategies to it, but that's what he knows what he wants to do, and he sets out to do it, and he doesn't really he sticks to his guns. Bill Castle the same way. A few years ago, we had heard some things about. Well, man, they're getting a little tired of Bill Castle in Lakeland. 46 years now, he's been winning football. And
how could you be tired of that?
Now, you always are changing with the athletes you have for that year. You're always changing with the times as how things are going and different ideas. But I think that once they set their game plan or set their ideas at what their team's going to be and what they do, they stick to it. And I think that's a formula to success. I talk about consistency in all parts of your life. If you're consistent at things, it always tends to be there's long-term payoff and even a lot of long-term payoff.
So talking of consistency, again, team came down last night, same itinerary, same hotel, different dinner, same breakfast today, and that's all a credit to the coaching staff trying to be consistent. as we head towards hopefully another state title defense.
Yeah, and again, like I said, everything being what it is.
I think everybody feels like, again,
are familiar with what's going on. They're comfortable.
I'll say this:
how they're always.
You mentioned this in the coach show as well. The experience we had, the teams we played this year early on, the Buchholz game might have been a different outcome without that experience and that other stuff.
I would say so.
And I think I'll say this too about the games with Buchholz. Great game, played awesome, but I think they hit a wall. And then once we made when Gator Wilder ran that touchdown in to go up 7 again, I think that was like one of those like, oh, okay, this is
right.
So this team isn't going to wither away. They're not going to fall under the pressure.
Yeah,
of this.
and I think one thing that's been real impressive about this team this year is no matter what situation or what the score is or what it doesn't bother them. You know what I mean? They don't get too down or too up in either situation. I don't think we were too up when it was 28-0, and I don't think we got too down when they came back and tied it 28-28. I think we're a pretty even keel team. I mean, even going back to like the Seminole game, I don't know if I might have talked to them about them. They get upset. But with a team we played and we were down 14-0.
Right.
We were pretty even keeled. There was no craziness on the sideline. I mean, everyone was just like, all right, we're down 14-0. Like,
you're right. You know what? They know what they look like when they have a bad player. They look annoyed. They don't look like upset. They look like them like, what are we doing? Like one of those person So they just kind of just they can shake it off, and they can kind of go and say, I know what I need to do, and then they go and do it, which is kind of interesting because sometimes people will be like, what do I do here? They know what to do.
It's been real. That's been probably the most impressive thing about this team, all year is it's the sideline and the competitive nature has been the same no matter what the situation. No matter you're down 14 or you're up 28. The sideline and the competitive nature has been the same, and the scoreboard doesn't affect them, and that's a good characteristic to have because sometimes, if you do have a team that affects and you go down 14-0, like in the
if you're doing this all day, that's not going to help you look at the scoreboard.
In the fashion that we did go for, and handed somebody 14 points, and they just go in the, put their head in the sand, then you probably ain't coming back.
No.
So. I think it says a lot about a team and a good team. And look at the 2017 team. You go, we're playing Braden River, and we're down 12 points or 10 points at half.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not looking real good.
Right.
And those guys continue to compete. We were down by 10 against St. Thomas at home in 17, and they came back.
And those guys, you talk to them now, that's what they talk about. We're not going to lose.
Yeah.
We just knew that we had to figure out what we had to do. It wasn't a situation where like, oh, okay, this is the one we're going to lose. That was not about it. They were not about it.
And then the 2021 team, they were just so good. It was like.
Yeah, that was last year's run through the playoffs. Was a very
through the season. I mean, they're just
phenomenal.
So dominant. Other than the game where we had 26 penalties and only ran 52 plays.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just a dominant football team. And, so each team's a little different. I don't know how – I can't tell you how we would have responded in 21 if we were down 14 because we
never had to.
Yeah, I mean,
it was never a situation.
We were the other side. It was just like game was over by halftime most of the time.
Yeah.
All right, so it was a really good experience to come down on the bus drive, a team building moment, and just try to repeat consistency, same as they did last year, to achieve the same outcome as we did last year.
That's the credo, man, and stay focused on what you're supposed to be doing. I mean, all the things that you would want your team to be locked in on, and they are, and they have been for the 2 times that we've been down here these past 2 years. It seems like you've seen it this year a lot.
Yeah.
And the kids are just, they're just grown-ups and how they handle themselves. People in the hotels they're impressed with how they act. You wouldn't even know they were there, that kind of thing. And you would think that not the case for a bunch of 15 to 18-year-olds, but they are well traveled and they're well schooled, and they're a disciplined team, and they're ready to play today.
So before we get into the good guys, let's talk about the bad guys in the Lakeland offense. Coach had a lot to say about especially their quarterback, Zachary Plus, 101 for 151 for 1,470 yards this season, 13 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and he's the kind of the straw that kind of stirs that offensive drink for the Lakeland Dreadnaughts.
All right, so a little bit about Lakeland. We'll kind of touch on it a little bit. Offensively, you had mentioned earlier in the coach's show, quarterback is a playmaker, not your prototypical 6'3" pocket passer, but a playmaker. 3 good running backs, a 4-star receiver, another good receiver, and then of course a pretty good offensive line. I would say.
If you're going to Georgia to play wide receiver, are you really a 4-star?
No, because that's just that that's because one guy can jump an extra inch. He gets a 5-star.
If you're going to Georgia, you're one of the best players in the country.
Yeah.
So we're playing against one of the best receivers in the country. And then their other guy is I think his brother plays at Florida, right?
What's his name?
I just want to say it before. I'm not giving names, but he's a guy that has burners. Can run. But I think you're right. I think that one thing, the backs run hard. All 3 of them run hard. So they're not going to have any issues with any of them getting tired. The quarterback, in my opinion, like I said in the coach's show, is the big difference maker in offense. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks that Lakeland's had in the recent memory. He throws the ball well. He's athletic, can run the ball, can get you out of trouble. I think he is the biggest difference in Lakeland's success now. I think when Lakeland won it, I want to say they won it 19. So I think when Lakeland won it 19, they basically relied on handing the ball to Bowman, who was a 5-star running back.
Just a guy couldn't get
But
stopped.
I think this year, I think they're more of a balanced team. They have one of the best receivers in the country that's going to Georgia, and then you have a quarterback that can get him the ball in multi fashions. Can play action, can drop back, can roll out.
In the spring, it was the first 3 plays were just a 2-step drop, and he hit him perfectly 3 times. And then the next time he threw it was a perfect slant going across the middle. And so there's he's got all the throws. There's no doubt about that.
So I think he's the biggest difference into making their offense kind of go and operate.
Yeah.
So this is a Lakeland dynamic offense for the Dreadnaughts, led by their 3-headed monster at running back Demarius Rucker, Daenerys Johnson, and Markel Johnson. In 4 playoff games between those 3, 977 yards and 15 touchdowns. Plus hasn't really had to do anything for Lakeland and has not thrown over 100 yards in the last 4 games. What is you look at our Indian, the defensive line really has to step up and make big plays today.
Right, because there's playmakers all over the field, starting with Plus. I mean, he's a playmaker, right there, quarterback. And so, if you got to be very disciplined as far as what your assignments are on defense. You can't be sort of wandering and getting out of place, because anywhere, anytime, someone can be there to make a huge play.
Right.
Two great wide receivers, a quarterback can facilitate the ball, and then you got 3 running backs. We're happy to have 2 on our team, but they've got 3, and they can and we saw that in the spring game. They played the hot hand. One of their guys got a little hot, and they kept them in the game. And yeah, they bring a little bit of different style, just like our 2 do the same way.
And as the playoffs have gone on, they have a receiver named Tyler Williams. He's a Georgia commit. Only 28 catches and 400 yards in the season, but as the playoffs have gone on, they've added in a little bit more wildcat into the Lakeland offense. So watch for that there for the Dreadnaughts. Their leading receiver is Dadron Zipperer, 23 catches for 458 and 2 touchdowns. He's a Utah commit. And they have a dual threat guy. His name is Joely Vasquez, 22 catches for 275 yards and 2 TDs and 23 carries for 293 yards rushing. So a dynamic offense, but we've got a pretty good offense too. And we'll get more into that as we go forth. About 10 minutes, we'll hear from Coach Peacock. Let's take a look at the Lakeland defense.
Defensively, you talked about, basically what you told me earlier was that's the best secondary in the country.
Yeah, I mean,
might be the best, based on what they've got, just backing the main guys up.
Their defense is very, very, they're very, very solid everywhere. There's not really any weak areas. They have linebackers that are downhill players that are great tacklers. Their defensive line, they rotate about 7 guys in there, I think their best player on the defensive line is number 1, where they move around from, strong end to weak end to nose guard, and he plays a bunch of different spots. And then their secondary is just loaded with talent. I mean, they got the number 1 corner in the country, and McLean, and they got a bunch of 3 and 4 stars all around them. And they were really good in the secondary in the spring, and then I think they added 3 Division I guys over the summer. I don't know where the heck all of them play. I mean,
yeah.
You got 7 guys that are Division I DBs.
That's the
some of them should have came here.
Right
some of them look at the. Should look at the program and say, all right, well, he's a 5-star, he's a 4-star, he's a 4-star, he's a 3-star. I'm a 3-star. Like, maybe I should go to Venice. I mean, I'm only a 3-star.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I doing over here? So I don't know how they. But that's something that a good coach can do. I mean, because you look at that and you say, all right, well, I got 6 DBs. The lowest one's a 3-star, and I got 3 3-stars, 2 4-stars, and a 5-star. And you got to manage those. You got to manage that.
Right.
What I mean? So
the only people doing that other than Lakeland this year is IMG.
You know what I mean? So that's there's a lot to be said about that. And people always say, well, I want all these good players. I want these. I would love to have 3 4-star receivers. Well, before you say that,
right.
you're going to have to manage those 3
right.
4-star receivers that, someone has 6 catches, someone has 1 catch.
They can't do it in college. That's
Yeah.
The transfer portal has made that abundantly clear.
Yeah.
I only got 20 touches. I got to go get 50 somewhere, so I'm going to go play across the country to
no
go
one
do
thinks
that.
about that part of, well, who's going to be in charge of these guys and manage them?
The guy who won the Bolitnikoff Award in college last year played at Pitt.
He
and
left.
He went to USC.
Yeah,
and what more could you want? They gave you the ball 150 times,
Yeah.
and it still wasn't good enough.
Now, money.
Well, true. I understand that.
And this
but
year had, 10 catches?
it didn't matter. He
knows?
just took it easy for a little while, yeah.
All right, so the Lakeland defense led by Cormani McLean. There's already so much literature out there. He's a number 1 guy, University of Miami, one of the top recruits in all of the United States of America, and he's got a tall task in front of him today, as we likely will see Elliott Washington lined up on the other side at receiver against him.
Yeah, you got to think that's probably part of our game plan. You have your best athletes in the field as much as you possibly can, and see what Elliott can do. He has shown on multiple occasions what he can do: long pass plays, multiple kickoff returns for touchdowns, and of course running the ball as well. So Elliott's got a lot to offer, and I think that if there's anything in the tank left, I think it's all going to be emptied out here today at this DRV Pink Stadium.
So coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll have Coach Peacock down in the field. Let's look at last week's performance by your Indians, and we already talked about Gator Wilder, those 2 big runs there that gave the Indians the lead after relinquishing a 28-point lead. They have been, as the season's gone on, Alvin Johnson and Gator Wilder have gotten better and better, and here's what you had to say about the 2 running backs.
Talk about the improvement of the offense as the season went on. I'm going to start this time, though, about our 2 running backs with Gator Wilder and Alvin Johnson. 2 different styles, but probably just as effective. We've talked about the idea that their stats mimic each other. Usually it's like one more play that somebody made,
Right.
but otherwise it's 11
Very
carries,
close,
11 carries.
I think last week was the only week that it was kind of staggering. I think Gator had a 160, and Alvin kind of had an off night.
Right. And but I think that was because I think Gainesville had seen a lot of film on Alvin, and they were like super focused on him. And not Gators, but for some reason or other, he seemed to have a little bit different something was going a little different. Yeah,
he ran had a phenomenal game. Ran extremely hard, breaking tackles. I mean, I always say it's when a kid carries the ball and he gets north and south, it's almost like every play he's like coming out of it. And
right.
Just if he's not breaking one, he's getting tripped up there right at the end.
Our running game last year, I remember there was a play. It was on film, but I watched it. It was our Vibrant Expert guys at a film where I knew the running game was really hitting its stride. MG, who was obviously a new person to football, maybe his 3rd or 4th start, he pulled on a play. And he came out, and you couldn't see DJ behind him. And all of a sudden, MG just flattened some guy out of bounds, and here comes DJ. And I'm like, wow, that looked like the way it should look.
Right.
And I saw a few plays last week before last, where similarly, I saw it more from a live perspective, where all of a sudden you see, here comes the play, and you see it as it's developing, you're like, this is going to work. Like, you see it right away. And watching these running backs in particular, really knowing how to set up and follow their blocks very well as well. If you watch them, Alvin slashes off it a little bit different, but
Right.
either way, they are both effective, and sometimes they do find the hole, and they're effective being patient running the balls
Right.
a little too.
No,
So
they've done a great job, and I feel like they're kind of hitting their stride right now.
yeah.
I think they're kind of learning how to practice. They're practicing harder. So I think everything is, like I said, everything's.
How much do you think that they are having a friendly competition with each other during the year, or even during a game in so many ways? I mean, I'm not nobody's keeping stats, but they're like, hey, it's my turn. I'm going to get one this time.
Well, I think I don't even say there's competition with them. I think there's just a really genuine rooting for each other.
Good. That's good.
I really do. I've not seen, you bring that up, and I've never
noticed it.
Not in one instance has there been anything that was other than genuine love for one another and just rooting each other on.
Where I see it the most, what you're talking about is when somebody scores. I mean, there is absolute joy
Yeah.
when we score touchdowns.
It's genuine.
It
It's
is.
not fake. It's true, genuine. They want each other to do well. They do not. I mean, there's no.
And we're
I wish I was in that play, or the offensive line blocks better for.
We're going to come back a little bit early as we have Coach Peacock down on the field. Coach, it's a beautiful day down on the field at DRV Pink Stadium. How do you feel right now?
I feel good. We're excited to be here. Humbled to be here. Definitely for the second time. The kids are ready to play. It's a little wet down here. I don't know if it looks like the field's in pretty good shape, but we're excited to play today.
So it was sorry, having a little trouble hearing you down there, but the guys look ready to go. We're seeing the crowd start to fill in on the other side of the end zone. Go ahead, John.
Coach, I was going to say, I mean, I know that these games are just full of energy and everything, but how do you think the team's focused up today? They seemed this morning they were all ready to go.
Yeah, it seems like they're locked in. Like I said, we've had 2 really good weeks of practice. I think they have a sense of confidence of what we're trying to do, both offensively and defensively. So that gives you, if you have a good sense of the game plan, it gives you a good bit of confidence here coming in the game.
All right, Coach. Well, we won't take any more of your time. Thank you so much, and go Indians.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, there is your coach, head coach John Peacock. And we had to cut away from him talking about Gator Wilder and Alvin Johnson. But you look at the two, and I talked to him this morning. I asked him, who's going to get more? And they both looked at me, and they said, we don't really care as long as we lead the team to victory.
I mean, they're two very unselfish players. I had even made a question to Coach Peak about competitors. He's, no, they're not competitive with each other. They're supportive of each other. And I noticed that about the whole team. I mean, it's one of those things where you say, hey, somebody scores a touchdown, but it's the guy who scores a touchdown is running over to the guy who made the block for him, and that kind of thing. So that's not something that is I got to put this. It's not. You can't fake that. You can't. There's a camaraderie. There's a team orientation to everything that really stands out. And I think those are the moments like again the Gainesville Buchholz game where things got a little rough, and those kids looked at each other and said, "I trust you. I think you can make a play, and I'm going to make a play as well, and we're going to get this done." And they did. No anger. No tossed helmets. No finger pointing.
Right.
Just let's get this job done, and let's do it for each other.
And what a leader Brooks Bentley has continued to develop into. We've seen it throughout the season, each game, stronger and stronger. Statistically, 144 of 248 passing for almost 1,800 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. But more importantly, the things that you don't hear about, Brooks being in the offensive line meetings and talking to Coach Hunter this week, that has been instrumental in the continued development of that offensive line.
Yeah, I listen. Everything you've seen it. Like we were at the walkthrough yesterday.
Yeah.
You watch how while there are coaches coaching their positions, there are coaches. Everybody is sort of got. There's a comment from a coach, or there's a head nod or a great play or whatever it may be.
nobody is. They're all sort of working and walking together.
Absolutely.
And it's really cool to watch, especially in these environments, because obviously a lot on the line today. Obviously, this has been on a front in their minds for going on 14 days now since they did beat Gainesville Bucholz, and yet you're seeing sort of this very confident, very sort of supportive way of things that get done around here, and it's a really a cool thing. I've tried to invite as many of my friends and family or whatever who want to come see it and say, look, just take a peek at it and see what you think, and when they see it up close and personal, it really resonates with them in a lot of ways.
And talk about two guys on the opposite ends of the spectrum, 6 foot, however he is, Finn Jones, and 5 foot, however he is, Keon Sears.
Yeah.
He had a lot of good things to say about the two on this past week's podcast.
We didn't talk about our receivers last time we talked about this too. Ryan Matulovic obviously came on the scene this year.
Great year.
Keon Sears really came on in the second half of the season, catching the ball.
Yes.
And Keon, I just
you got to
tell
count Finn.
Yeah, but I'm going to get there. We're going to get there.
Finn had the catch of the year.
Yeah. So then you have Keon, who, how tall is Keon? 5'7", 5'8",
5'6",
5'6",
5'7".
Okay, I think he thinks he's 6'3".
Oh, he plays.
He plays like he's 6'3".
Oh,
it's unbelievable.
He thinks he's 6'3", 220 pounds.
Because he hits people and bounces off them and hits them again. It's to me, it's like,
He's an explosive player, and he's been explosive since he was 5'3" as a freshman. When he's the smallest kid we have. He's working out with the varsity group as a freshman, and we have these boxes that are, they're extremely high. They're higher than a normal box we built because we built them out of our old platforms, and the only person jumping on him is Keon. He's 5'3".
First game I ever saw him play against Riverview, they had some guy, it's like freshman team always has like a 7-foot tall kid playing corner, and he just jumped up. He was behind, just jumped, picked the ball up and caught it. I was like, what was that?
He's very, very explosive for sure. He's got the power. You see it on when he's the flip guy.
Yeah.
You see it on that. He's like, how high is he in there when he's doing the flip?
Well, the one when they get still photos of him, his head is high, and he's upside down. His head is higher than everybody else's head. Yeah. He's above them. That's
unbelievable.
So it's unbelievable. And again, also
I did a flip at practice the other day.
How'd that work
out?
I can't do it, That should be uncensored. Yeah. But then we talk about Finn Jones too. Obviously, his growth as a player, his receiving skills have improved, and obviously he's a big part of the running game too. So he's got a block.
Oh, huge part of the running game, and he's doing a great job catching the ball. I mean, you look back, Riverview first series, he catches a nice out route on the second, third play of the game, and then our last game against Bucholz, I mean, the catch of the year. That's the catch of the year. I mean, we're not here. We might not be here. We're pumping the ball.
Right, it's a big
back
play.
to Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
We're
running all over the place. Yeah.
And Johnny Manziel's probably going to score.
Yeah, that was a deflating play for them, and obviously a big play for us to keep the momentum going in that game. So no doubt. And then.
So Keon, 2 big touchdowns in last year's state championship game, leads the team with 8 this season. And as you talked about, as we've spoken, he's gotten better and better and more integrated in this offense each and every week.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a little tough sledding with Keon early in the year. Just wasn't really getting the touches, and now all of a sudden, the last I'd say 8 games in a row where he's just been phenomenal. I mean, all that athleticism we see from him, that energy we see from him in the meeting rooms and everything else, you're starting to see it now where he's exuding that energy and the confidence that he needs to have to be the player he is. And
I asked him today, the last Venice high school backflip today, and he you could see him get this nervous smile on his face. We're gonna as we in the next couple of weeks and months, you'll see the highlight video come out, and that's going to be a big part of our entrance as it is each and every week. Ryan Matulovic leads the team with 50 catches for 625 yards or 697 yards and 5 touchdowns. And they're going to need a big effort from Ryan today, along with Finn Jones, 10 catches for 160 yards and 3 scores. He's obviously one of the biggest players on the field. Having a good tight end, especially in an offense like this, is crucial to beating a fast defense like Lakeland.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you this, it's going to be a ball distribution today. I mean, everybody's going to have a hand in this game. This is not going to be a one-man show or anything like that. It's got to be where all hands are on deck and they're all contributing. And I could very well see a stat line for any of those receivers, I mean, including Finn Jones or whoever it may be, and where it could be
5-6 catches apiece. They could be distributing the ball, each having a touchdown. I think that's what you're going to see. Put that in my view, I think that's the way to have a championship game today.
So moving on to the defense, you hear the bend don't break. We bent all the way over backwards 2 weeks ago, but did not break as the offense came back and was able to take momentum back. Let's take a look and your comments about the Venice Indian defense as we move forward into today's game.
Defensively, we talked about it as well. Defensive line is obviously the unit that stands out in regards to our defense. Just because, just reputationally, I would say more than anything. But they're going to be a big part of what our success, what they do, and then of course, linebackers have really come into their own. They're the other unit that I saw that came, started in the spring and started in the fall, and have become sort of just. Solid's not even a fair estimate what to say about them. They're not just solid; they're really good at what they do, and they've all taken turns having good stat lines, but they all year consistently they've been where they need to be in the right spots. Their drops are good, their reads are good. They've done a really good job.
Yeah, Coach Shannon, Coach Wideline, Coach Hatler, Coach Heyer, and Coach Jones. Our defensive staff. It's. We see this product on the field, and you see Damon Wilson and how he has a pass rush, and he's knocking people's hands down, and he's dipping his shoulder, and that stuff just doesn't happen. And the kid's been coached,
right?
And Trenton Kintai, you see last week where he's come off the ball and he's leverage locking with his hands, and and you see him cross face and all these things that a good defensive lineman does. Those things don't just happen; they're coached,
right?
So they do a great job of getting these guys ready, and then the fact that those kids, those individuals, do a great job and getting themselves ready, strong and tough and physical, and then
sure.
Put the coaching on top of it. You're going to be a great player, and it's kind of showing now. I talked about it in the coaches show where I feel like last week, I keep saying last week, but 2 weeks ago, Trenton, that was Trenton. He's back.
Yeah.
I know he's been back for a number of weeks, but coming off of ACL surgery and the first time playing the game and all that stuff, you're there, you're back, but you're not where you were. And against Buchholz,
you got to think Trenton's pretty hungry because he didn't play.
He didn't play a whole lot, yeah.
Right? And so for him, I know that that was a tough situation to be in. So being healthy and getting his opportunity right now to kind of maybe get his big swing at it.
He played great. He played great last week. I went 2-3 games like that. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Phenomenal game. No
doubt. And then, of course, with secondary, with Elliott Washington being back there on the one side, you've got Dalen Platt, who's really stepped up. And when you see him and stand next to him, that's a very tall, very athletic young man. He's a corner that you put another 25, 30 pounds on him, which obviously he's that guy.
No,
he's that guy.
He's guy that's going to be a Division I guy.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Yeah, he's going to be a Division I corner. Or a receiver. But there's you can find a 6'2" receiver any day of the week. You find a 6'2" corner.
Well, I remember one time Coach Burton said when we were playing St. Francis, I said, how good is St. Francis? He goes, when you got two guys that are 6'3" playing corner and they're both going to play in the SEC, you're really not going to throw the ball very well tonight. He's like, yeah. And I was like, gotcha. I'll check that one off for sure. That length is unbelievable. Probably the only player that's from the team that's injured is Sage Utsi, who is a starting safety. But Larry David. That's right. Larry David as well on the offensive side of the ball. But Jacavius Washington has done a nice job playing safety. So that's been a positive.
Jacavius has played lights out and done an unbelievable job for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he's made some plays of the year too. Block punt. He had the fumble recovery against Naples, caused fumble and fumble recovery against Naples. That sealed the win there. So he's made some huge plays.
The defensive backs and linebackers have their work cut out for them with this speedy defense, but no bigger impact is going to be felt than of your defensive line today.
Yeah, I mean, they're the team. That's the position group that we've talked about the most. I mean, Damon Wilson being the shiny penny in that group for sure. But you got Trenton Kintai, Colin Atkins, and Tyler Lewis, who have all contributed tremendously this year.
Right.
Trenton coming in a little late in the year after recovering from a knee surgery from last year, but
and didn't miss a beat. I mean, when he came back into that lineup, that front four was shored up right then and there.
Right, and I think that the defensive line in particular, if they can create problems for the running game, and then of course getting pressure on the quarterback. I mean, that's right there. That's so much of an impact on your team. The pressure put on the quarterback in those situations is very hard to beat. And if you can get that level of play, and not asking for much more than what they're capable of,
right.
honestly. Then you're really looking at a chance to repeat as the state champions for sure.
And here are your three Indians with over 100 tackles. Eli Seed leads the team with 117 and 3 picks. Dominic Wood, 106. And Huber Jack, or Jack Huber, however you want to read it, 102 total tackles. This is going to be – this trio right here, these are going to be big players on your defense today against this Dreadnought offense.
Carter Dalton in there. He seems to be a big playmaker as well. But all four of those linebackers, what I've been impressed with the most is their willingness, I should say, to put their heads in there and make plays. No matter who's coming through the line, but also their ability to make tackles. Sometimes you can be there, but then you don't really make the tackle. These guys, I've noticed that when Eli Seed makes a tackle, he makes the tackle, and his buddies are there to help him. But they're solid tacklers. And everybody sort of says, well, what's so great about that? Really, you don't see a lot of solid tackling at all levels.
No,
you don't see it in college for sure. And in the NFL, it's more about throwing your shoulder into somebody else. These guys they're wrapping the people up and putting them to the ground and limiting the amount of yards that are gained after contact. So
and the last aspect to look at are your special teamers. And we'll talk about Krill Kotov and Elliott Washington here. Big spot for Krill today on the kickoff is if he can put it in the end zone, he can limit the exposure to the Dreadnaughts return men.
We talked about that over and over again in our broadcast, but again, we talked about it today with the coaching staff today just over breakfast, and it's like, gosh, if Krill can put it in the end zone, and we were talking about it at our walkthrough yesterday. If Krill puts it in the end zone, all these teams that are, let's say, the state championship level teams that have been here, there's not one of those teams, I promise you, doesn't have a guy who can take it to the house on the kickoff returns or even punt returns. And if they don't get the chance,
right.
I mean, that's unbelievable. You say, well, about punting, that's your choice to punt, obviously. But kicking off is not. So that's when you say, well, if you score 7 times, you got to kick off 7 times, whatever it may be. You've got to kick off. So that's when that part of it is so crucial to not put the ball in the hands of a track athlete or somebody who's running a 4.240 or whatever it may be, and it just
Elliott Washington 3 kickoff returns for a touchdown, 14th in the state in kickoff return yards.
And there you go, because there's the guy that we want to get the ball
absolutely
to, and we know what he's capable of, game-breaking situations that he can that he can do for us. And Elliott's got that that unbelievable top-end speed that he can go and take it to the house if he gets any space at all.
Right. And then special teams-wise, I mean, how Krill Kotov, if he can put that ball in the end zone on kickoffs.
Oh, it's a game changer.
I must say it 100 times in the live streams and saying, like, that's just 80 yards. 80 yards. They got to go 80. Yep. And you say to yourself, what an advantage from that. And we've always talked in these particular kind of games, you're trying to eliminate those plays. They all got dudes that can run the ball back. We do too, right? And so when you see the ball kicked off and it's 3 yards short and it's going in Elliott's hands, don't you get a little feel like, oh,
yeah, no doubt. When Elliott catches, I'm like,
right, he could go.
Let's go.
And you get that same feeling, and for those guys the same way. And then of course the special teams as well.
Elliott has a national record though
for 3 touchdowns for that many yardage.
It's a national record.
I'd never seen it before, so I knew it had to be something special. We knew it was a Venice record. we had that one checked off.
It's tied with like 6 people.
Still your name's on the list, right? Until somebody breathes it, you're the guy with them. So again, special teams will play a major part of what we do as well this week. We can't overlook that from the perspective that there's going to be plays where the special teams are going to have to do something and step up and make a play, because both teams. It's going to be. I mean, it's going to be a filling out process like every other game. So, there's going to be a chance for this to happen or that to happen. So, everybody kicks off. If you kick off when you get a touchdown or the start of half, so you're only going to do that. And then so everything else is sort of like I said, it's good to see that Krill's had the experience. And if the kickoff side of it, if he can get those balls in the end zone, what a positive.
And the last 2 weeks, our punt team has really improved. It's unbelievable. Just the operation time. I'm talking about in practice, like the operation time, the snaps, the punts. They've been great. I don't want to punt. I don't like to punt.
Yeah, we know you don't like the punt.
But if we do have to punt, the punt team's been doing. It's the best week we've had. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, that's why I said we're kind of all coming together at the right time, and hopefully we can have a good game against Lakeland.
So there you go. Special teams playing a huge part in today's game. We're going to take about a 10-minute break here on the broadcast so we can grab ourselves a drink, head to the bathroom for a minute, get in game mode, get locked in even further than we are. Remember, there's only 2 places you can watch today's broadcast. You can follow it live here with John and I. There'll be a graphic up on the screen that will it won't look like that. It'll look like that right here, and you'll see the score throughout. We'll tell you what quarter it is. Unfortunately, you don't have the technology to put the clock up, but you'll hear the great mediocre play-by-play, but great color broadcast from John Massoni. You can also go to the FHSAA Boxcast site and purchase the broadcast for $9.99. That's the only place. If you look in the chat, and unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the chat today, there are so many bots that will you click on that and they'll steal your information and you'll have all your stuff hacked, and you don't want that.
Go to the FHSAA.com.
Exactly. FHSAA.com. Purchase their ticket for $9.99. Mute them. Listen to us. And we'll be back here live from DRV Pink Stadium in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Let's go Indians.
Go Indians.
All right, back here live from Drive Pink Stadium. The clouds are burning off. The sun is shining. We're a couple of minutes away from the coin toss. The stands are filing in. Here come the teams. Everybody's been locked in, but now it's go time.
It is go time, Josh, and you're starting to see now where our crowd is filling in a little bit. Our team is ready to come on the field. Lakeland's team is all where everybody's sort of getting there. It's ready to go. It's go time. It's state championship time for the Venice Indians and the Lakeland Dreadnaughts. And I'm expecting. I know we've talked about the individual teams and players' positions. I'm expecting a great game today. I really am. I think both teams come in with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
To put that, sometimes that could be a negative connotation, but no, I think both teams are very confident. I think both teams are familiar with each other in some way. Obviously, we've seen each other just 7 months ago, for that matter. But one thing I will say, the team that the Dreadnaughts saw in May is not the team they're going to see today.
Vastly different, absolutely.
And so from that perspective, that's one of the things. If there's any sort of like subplot to this whole thing, is Lakeland prepared? Or are they looking back at what they think they saw in May, or are they looking at a team and saying this is a whole new team, a whole new situation?
Well, and you and I talked about it off camera as well. Their warm-up routine here was almost a full game. I mean, they were going hard and heavy from moment one as soon as they walked out on the field.
Maybe over an hour.
Yeah.
And clearly that's not Venice's style. Coach Peacock has documented and outlined how he has had taken his practice routine into a sort of a hyper fast mode where he's trying to keep his team fresh. He's all about that. So it's really a cool situation. Here come the Indians right now on the field with the did we say the what? The last
Keon Sears front flip leading out the Indians onto the field. Definitely a way to get the good guys started, as they are wearing the all whites today, white top, white pants, green helmet. They'll be on the visitors' sideline. We are the visitors on the scoreboard, and Lakeland comes out, and they're all black, just like Coach thought they would.
Yep.
Trying to intimidate a little bit with the all black outfits.
Yeah, no doubt. About just to finish up what I was saying about the warm-ups. Hyper fast. We go fast. We're about quality, not quantity kind of things. So that seems to help us as the season progresses. And one thing about Keon Sears' entrance, looked like his boys gave him a little chance to get out there and do it on his own. He wasn't in the middle of it. He was out in front of it, so that was kind of cool.
Can't wait to see that one on camera afterwards.
No doubt.
Looking at both sides of the stadium, right now the Lakeland fans have got here hot, heavy, and early. The Indians fans filing in. Obviously, parking has been kind of an issue here at DRV Pink Stadium. The roads in and out are troublesome, but the Indians are arriving here just about a couple of minutes here from kickoff. Our final time this season, John, it's going to be a good one. I don't have much left to say. I mean, we're all ready to go.
Yeah, it's kind of like you feel like the same energy that the fans and the team are feeling.
Yeah.
We want it to start. That's kind of what it is. But now we got coin toss, which is always an important part of the game. It's funny how just a flip of a coin can make a difference in strategy.
Right.
All these different things, and it's one of those things that you really can't take out of the game. It's sort of what it is, and then we'll know exactly what to expect going into the first quarter and the second half once they flip this coin. So we'll see. And again, probably and it looks like they got their traditional captains out there for the Indians.
That's Elliot Washington, Damon Williams, Trenton Kintai, and Brooks Bentley for the coin toss for the Dreadnaughts. Number 5, Elijah Harvey. Number 18, Idris King. Number 10, Tyler Williams. And number 9, Zachary Plus, the right-handed quarterback.
Pretty much almost the same type of group of players, the captains-wise, that you see for the Indians. Quarterback's always out there as captains, and a couple offensive and defensive players. So that's what you would expect, and I'm sure both the sets of captains are going to be cordial, but ready to go.
Locked in. So if you're watching here on our Facebook page and VTV News YouTube page, thank you for joining us. You'll see the graphics here throughout today's game. We'll update you with the scores as they happen on the screen. If you are looking in the chat, there are a lot of bots out there that are trying to get you to click on their link and watch the broadcast. Again, there's only 2 places where you can watch and listen to broadcasts. Actually, Lakeland doesn't even have a live stream today. It's us here on the Venice Indian Facebook Venice Indian Football Facebook page and Venice High School Facebook page, youtube.com/VTV News VHS. And if you would like to purchase the broadcast, you can go to the FHSAA website, $9.99. You can watch the full video broadcast presented by Spectrum. Turn them down and listen to us as you get ready for this game here coming up in about a minute. Both sides captains are on the field as we await the coin toss, and you're a defer to the second half kind of guy if the Indians aren't able to win the coin toss. But I think in this game it's super important for the first offense to get going and punch the other defense in the mouth right away.
Yeah, and I will tell you that. I think that I know I've talked to Coach about it, and his philosophy is to defer. We're seeing right now.
Yeah, hard to hear up here.
They're still showing him the coin. And we haven't got the ball, anything tossed in the air just yet. We'll see where we got going. There it goes.
There is the toss.
Indians won the toss.
Indians won the toss. We'll see. They will defer to the second half, so the defense will come out against this high-powered Lakeland offense here to start off this 4S state championship game live from Drive Pink Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. Let's go.
Yeah, so I'll tell you right now that this is going to be Crow Kotov's first opportunity, so if he can get that ball in the end zone. Going back to the conditions again, it looks like it's clearing up a little bit, still overcast. I don't see much wind, Josh. Do you see much wind today? I'm looking around to see a flag or something. I don't see anything moving around too much.
Not much wind, and the wind in this stadium is interesting. As we were here last night for Miami Central and American Heritage, and it seems to swirl at the top. But today the flags are dead straight to the stick, actually blowing a little bit towards, I believe this would be the south end zone.
Yes.
The south end zone. So it's blowing a little bit towards the south end zone, but nothing major. The skies are the clouds are burning off. We'll check the weather report here periodically. They said earlier it was supposed to rain somewhere around 3 or 4, but they were saying it all morning and it didn't. So
well, I think that's because of the lack of wind. I think that whatever front's not coming through is just stalled out. So we're probably going to have the conditions again. Not a hot day, but obviously not a chilly day either. Look, mine's telling me it's 70-something degrees outside. So it's, again, not a bad day whatsoever. And if you're asking for a perfect afternoon, 73 and overcast with no wind might be just what you're looking for.
However, the field conditions may come into play. There's been a lot of games on this field over the last couple of nights. We went down and walked on it earlier. It's a little beat up, but thank goodness that the rain has held off here for the kickoff. So, again, the Indians will move from left to right on your dial.
It looks like
number 1.
I think Williams and number 3, Rucker. And that kick is off.
There's the kick from Krill Kotov. It's a high one into the back of the end zone.
Wow.
So the Dreadnaughts will start their first possession of this 4S state championship game on their own 20-yard line.
That was high and deep. That was a great kick by Krill. So that's a great sign to see him getting that ball in the end zone. 80 yards, the first and 10 at the 20.
And that's exactly what the Indians needed. Start them off deep, as this is a high-powered offense led by the running game. Quarterback Zachary Plous has not had to do much over the last couple of weeks. So we'll see what the defensive line can do against these speedy backs. In the backfield for Plous is number 2, Donaris Johnson, who's the Lakeland Dreadnaughts' leading rusher this season.
Big offensive line for the Lakeland Dreadnaughts.
3 receivers left, 1 man goes in motion. It's Johnson on the carry. He's hit right about the 22, falls forward to the 23-yard line, 3-yard gain on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Tyler Lewis and Trenton Kintylen on the tackle on that one.
Great sight lines here at Drive Pink Stadium. No digital down marker.
Oh, no, nothing that fancy.
Not here, nothing that fancy. All right, so 2nd down and 7. Plous will come in with the play. And Lakeland moving from right to left on your dial.
Offensive line, average the sides of the guys 6'5", 295, 6'2", 285, 6', 270, 6'2", 325, and 6'5", 280. So we know we got a big offensive line for the Dreadnaughts.
Man goes in motion. Plous looking. He's looking for a man deep.
Oh,
That's covered. And Elliott Washington picks it off on the 45. Across the field, 35-30, out of bounds, just inside the 30-yard line. And just like that, the defense makes a play.
I thought Elliott could have a chance to score, but they got scooted out of bounds. But that was just a jump ball. There was nobody there except for Elliott. And Elliott brought it in about the 50 and took it back down to the 26 or 7-yard line of the Dreadnaughts.
Pass looked like it was intended for Tyler Williams, the senior receiver. Plous just let it hang up there. And Elliott Washington does what Elliott Washington do. The ball will be on the 27. The flag was picked up and waved off, so the Indians 27 yards to the end zone with 11:06 left here in the first quarter.
Big break right off the bat for the Indians, and this is to see what they can do around getting to punch this in right now.
So Alvin Johnson starts off in the backfield with Bentley to the left of his quarterback. Ball's on the right hash mark. Bentley looks for Sears. He's got him at the 20. A good quick strike to Keon Sears for 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Ball looked a little bit behind Keon, but Keon went back and made a nice catch for a good 7-yard gain.
Sears in the slot. Matulovic at the bottom. Hippolyte in the top. It's going to be Bentley around the left side.
Wow.
Burks Bentley across the 10 to the 5.
Touchdown.
Burks Bentley for the score.
Wow.
And just like that, it's 6-0.
Actually, that looked like a broken play, Josh. If you saw that, we'll look at the replay right now. We can see it up in our television booth up here. Brooks looked like he got sort of mixed up on the play. Oh, we got a flag. We have a flag. Hold on.
I didn't see the flag.
It just popped on the field. Here we go.
And the touchdown is good.
Okay. Okay, it's unsportsmanlike kind of against the end. So the touchdown does count. Probably a celebration penalty is what that was. Somebody did something that shouldn't have been done. So we'll see if they are going to push them back with the 15 here or the 15 on the kickoff.
What a run by Brooks.
Yeah, getting back to it was a broken play. Looked like Brooks kind of got confused, and him and Alvin were kind of deciding what they wanted to do.
Right.
And Brooks ran, and then they kind of got lost track of him, and lo and behold, touchdown for the Indians, 20-yard touchdown run.
So it looks like the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Kirill Kotov comes in for the extra point. And wow, this has quieted this Lakeland crowd. Snap is down, the kick is up. And it's right down the middle. And with 10:42 left here in the first, it's the Indians jumping out with a 7-0 lead.
Again, you couldn't ask for a better start to the game right there. Defense makes a stop with an interception. 2 plays. The first play was a nice little setup, and I think that first play made us up the second play because it looked like they were kind of looking like they were going the same direction that they wanted to go to Keon again, and Brooks just pulled the ball down and took it in the end zone, and one man move miss, and he's in the end zone. So again, I don't know where the celebration penalty came in. Maybe somebody had said something to somebody. You never know, but got to watch that stuff. You don't want those sort of ticky-tack penalties. I get the enthusiasm, but just need to calm down and act like you've been there before, and it's early in the game, so no need to be getting too riled up with the other team.
That's Brooks' 9th touchdown on the ground of the year for your Indians and 30th overall. 21 passing, 9 rushing. And, we talked about the offense coming out and punching them right in the mouth first. It was the defense who struck first. The big interception by Elliott Washington 2 plays later, and the good guys are in the end zone. And that is about as good of a start as you can ask for from Coach John Peacock and his staff.
Yeah. Again, the kickoff into the end zone. Now, the kickoff is not going to be in the end zone here, but
no.
I would probably guess that there's going to be something directional. We'll see. We'll see what they do.
Do you take the penalty and do you kick it out of bounds?
I don't know but the ball might be marked at the 50-yard line.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, forget that.
Yeah, because that would be a lot of gain stuff to give away.
As that one's going to be fielded on the 18 by number 10, Tyler Williams. He'll cross field. Jack Humer almost brings him down.
Very nice.
And it's wrapped up by number 25, Jordan Joseph. So Huber was the first man through, and Joseph cleans it up. And the Dreadnaughts will start off on their own 28-yard line.
Huber came flying down the field on that one, and he just kind of tripped him up a little bit, slowed him down for Joseph to go ahead and take care of him and put him down at the 28-yard line.
All right, so it was 3 plays on the first drive for Lakeland. The third play was the pick by Washington. They're going to go Wildcat here to start this one off. Williams is the Wildcat. Oh, no, it is Plus. He's under center. Man goes in motion. It's going to go to the up man, Demarius Rucker, who's around the right side. Good for maybe 5. And a couple of Indians are saying the ball was out, but it was not.
Damon Wilson along with Dominic Wood on the tackle. Nice
so it
play.
Is
little quick, sort of like a speed sweep on that one, and then a gain of 6 yards.
2nd down and 4 on the 34-yard line.
You almost lost Rucker in the play, too, because he's small, and he was kind of tucked in behind the line. So sort of using his his slight stature to sort of hide him on that play.
It's Rucker again on the pitch from Plouffe. He's across the 35, tackle by number 23. That's Dominic Wood. Good for 2 yards. 3 yards, it'll be 3rd and 1.
Carter Dalton a little help as well on that one. He kind of just sort of he stood the blocker up, and then Wood scraped off that spot and was able to make the tackle.
Ball's on the 37-yard line.
First, third down play. See if even if the Dreadnaughts don't get it up
on the near side hash, and it looks like Kintai jumped.
He did, so it's first down, Dreadnaughts. And what the play hadn't even really started. It looked like he just got. That's one of those
ready to go.
He almost like he put his hands up, like, what did I just do? Why would I even do that? But it can happen, but it can't happen too often.
So 1st and 10 now on the 42-yard line. The Lakeland Dreadnaughts inching closer to the midfield mark.
That's Wildcat there. That's Williams.
Williams up the middle, good for to the 47.
Lewis on the tackle.
Good for 5.
So yeah, he brings a different sort of dynamic to the team where he's a game breaker at that Wildcat position.
So 5 yards for Williams.
And you look at Lakeland; they didn't panic after the touchdown. They're just running their offense, and they're trying to get it all back at once, running the ball, establishing a line of scrimmage.
It's going to be Plouffe. He'll pull it down. He's got first down yardage and more on the near side out to the 33-yard line. Say 32-yard line. It's first down Lakeland.
Run out of bounds by Elliott Washington, but good blocking. He pulled it down, saw the hole, big hole on the left-hand side of the defense, and it took it down inside the 35-yard line of the Indians.
8:26 left here in the first.
See if the Indian defense can tighten up a little right here.
That's Rucker again to the near side. Good tackle, open field tackle by Jack Huber. As he was trying to get around the left edge, could not.
I'll tell you what, if Huber doesn't make that tackle, that might be a touchdown right there. Jack came up and short tackle down low on Rucker and kept him to a 1-yard gain.
Going to credit him with 2 on. Oh, they're good. Now they move it back. So 1 yard's on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Defense looks. I mean, they're looking okay. They don't seem to be in any sort of panic. They seem like they're just feeling out what Lakeland's got to offer.
Wildcat again. It's going to be Williams on the carry. Fakes it to Rucker. Runs right into Colin Atkins at the 25-yard line. 3 yards short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 3.
The fake was so good that our guy turned it back on Williams, and he still had the ball. So it was a great fake on Williams' part. Tackle in there by Dominic Wood again.
Ball's right in the center of the field. Thanks to all those watching out there on our Facebook pages. Facebook.com/Venice Indian Football, Facebook.com/Venice High School, and YouTube.com/VTV News VHS. The handoff is to the up man, number 23. Michael Singleton, I believe, was on the carry.
And it was Atkins and Kintai with a little help from Dalton on that play, but they did a good job of stopping that little fullback dive for a gain of 1, which brings up 4th and 2.
That was 22, Markel Johnson on the carry. So 4th down and 2. Inside the 25-yard line, right on the 24.
Got to watch jumping off here. That they already got you once.
Blues trying to go with a hard count. And the Dreadnaughts, he has to call a timeout. Can't get the Indians to jump. So good job by the line to hold there.
I like that idea. Just going to see if you can get that. They jumped once. Why not get them a chance to jump again? And 4th and 2. You got to think it's a run play here, but do you go just straight run, dive? Do you go Wildcat? You got a lot of options, and the they're multi-dimensional, so they can give you a lot of looks. So you got to be ready for whatever formationally. That's what you got to look at, whatever the formation is, and see what their tendencies are in that place.
And good speed with all three backs. They look like they're all about the same size. So you can't say, oh, this is going to go to the fullback. He's a bit bigger. You're not. It just depends on how the formation is lined up.
Peacock and I talked about it on Tuesday as well. They all sort of have the same stature.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He
did single out Rucker as being a guy who seemed like he had a little more of the dynamic runner, a little bit more of that speed runner. But nonetheless, they all have that same sort of stature. They get in low and get behind that big old line, and they're hard to find.
Johnson, 5'10", 170. Rucker, 5'9", 185. And Markel Johnson, 5'10", 180. So statistically, they're all about the same.
And they're going sort of with like a power I formation. They got two guys in the backfield and with
Donairis Johnson in the backfield. The handoff is to number 22, Markel Johnson. He's got the first down inside the 20.
Good call. I mean, nothing real tricky, but they just everybody look at power I. You think it's going to go to the tailback, and they go to the fullback, and he picks up a first down. And we've got a timeout for a water break, I think, right now.
Timeout for the water break. We'll stay here on the broadcast live on our social media pages. 6:16 left here in the first quarter. Thanks to all those for joining us. Share it out to all of your friends. And if anybody is watching the FHSAA broadcast, let us know in the chat how close we are to our call versus the FHSAA call.
Yeah, it'd be nice to know that we're not sort of stepping on too much, if that's the case.
And again, if you look in that chat, all those bots, do not click on those. You can purchase. Wesley's asking the question, is anyone not able to get it on? You can purchase the link through the FHSAA Boxcast, not the links in the chat. Got close to 200 people watching right now.
And there's a play.
It's to Rucker down the near side, tripped up by number 29. That's Eli Seed, your leading tackler. But Rucker goes forward for a couple more.
Yeah, him and Carter Dalton on the play. It looked like, again, they could have almost got there and got that edge, but just enough of a trip up to slow down Rucker, and then Dalton was over there to clean up the tackle. Short gain, only a gain of
2 yards. So 2nd and 8 on the 17-yard line.
5:34 left in the first quarter.
Man goes in motion. It's going to be the handoff to Rucker up the middle, who's brought down right at the 11-yard line.
That was Jacavius Washington with a touchdown-saving tackle right there.
Tricky formation.
Kind of a little of a counter play, and just right off the right tackle's large frame, and he snuck out there for a good 6-yard pickup.
And they're bringing in number 96, Gerlins Milford. He's a defensive end and D tackle, 6'2", 275.
I think Lakeland's going to. They're going to try to. They're going to line up and go right at us here. See if our defensive line is up to the task.
Donairis Johnson, deep in the backfield. The handoff is to Johnson over the left side. Good tackle by Tyler Lewis.
Great play by Tyler Lewis. Loss on the play. Back to the was it a loss or a
1 yard gain?
1 yard gain. 1 yard gain.
It's 4th and 1. 4th and 1 on the 10.
Almost a no-lose situation. If they don't make it, we get the ball at the 10-yard line with a long field. They head downfield. So I think they're feeling like this is not too much of a risk for them.
Their jumbo package on the left side. And he's got the first down just short of the goal line, down at the 3-yard line.
Galloway, along with Huber and Washington on the tackle.
That was Markel Johnson on the carry. So quick. That handoff was so quick by Plouffe.
Yeah, that little dive to the fullback, that's a tough one to stop. So 1st and goal from the 3.
Defense has been out there for quite a while here.
The same play and a touchdown.
And it's a touchdown, Lakeland, with 3:49 left here in the first. That was Markel Johnson on the 3-yard score, and it's 7-6.
They're seeing something a little on the left-hand side of the line of scrimmage right there, and that's just power football right there. And you can see on the replay I'm watching right now, they just buried that side of the line, and there was really nothing they could do. the secondary was up close, but he had the line of scrimmage all to himself, and he had no trouble getting in the end zone.
Kicker for the Dreadnaughts is number 31, Callum Muldoon. Snap is down, kick is up and away, and it's good, and it's tied at 7.
Good response by the Dreadnaughts. A nice drive down the field. 100% run the whole way. Not even a close to an attempt on a pass on that one. So again,
well, we saw how the first one went for him.
Yeah, but establishing that line of scrimmage, you know they're going to try to do that. Indian defense. I'm sure Coach Shannon is going to. He already saw what he needs to do to make an adjustment, and he will. But then, of course, what does Lakeland do to adjust to what we adjust to? So that's a cat and mouse game when you have two really good coaching staffs.
Yeah.
There's not much they haven't seen. There's not much they don't know how to adjust to. Just a matter of, at that point, if you adjust right and then having your team to go out there and have the results that you hope they get.
And it's a much-needed break for the Indian defense. Been on the field close to 8 minutes so far. Indians have only run 2 offensive plays, so it'll be a good breather for them and give the offense, that tempo offense, to do something against this Lakeland defense.
Yeah, you know you can't be unhappy with it with a 2-play touchdown after an interception.
Right.
So honestly, it's to have the long drive, that's going to happen. I mean, Lakeland. I mean, they're here for a reason. They're a good football team.
There's the kick on the far side of the field. It'll be fielded by Keon Sears at the 10. Sears across the 35, a spin move, but brought down to the 36-yard line. So good return by Keon, 26 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Indian 36.
Yeah, nice return by Keon. Just kind of took what he could get out of it out to the 36-yard line. A nice 26-yard return for Keon Sears.
So Alvin Johnson started off at running back, and they will trade off between Johnson and Wilder. And it's going to be Gator Wilder out here. Looks like the Indians will come out in the Wildcat, start this possession.
They like Gator in the Wildcats, so they do it early and often with him.
Washington goes in motion. It's going to be Gator down the near side out to the 37-yard line. So a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Number 5, that is Hardy. Fast linebacker came up and filled the hole quick before Gator could get anything going.
So they only gave him 1 yard in the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Back to Brooks in the backfield without timeout. Timeout Indians.
Timeout for the good guys. The first timeout of the first half. And Coach not happy with the officials as a Lakeland player on the far side of the field doing a little jaw jacking.
Yeah,
it's a little early to do that.
I think a little bit more than that. It was some. I think there were some words that were not too taken to by our team and our coaches right there. So I think also coach took a timeout because we had our starting guard on that play lose his helmet. So maybe they're trying to get him back on the field, or they weren't quite ready to get a substitute in there right away. So smart move. It's early in the game. You don't want to do anything silly early on and give Lakeland another chance to score.
And you wonder, you think you don't want to burn a timeout too early, but Coach Peacock, a wizard with those timeouts, as it benefited the Indians in the Riverview game, really kind of turned the tides there at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's obviously some personnel issues here on the field. Indians trying to get lined up correctly. Go trips down to the right to the near side. That's Wilder on the carry.
That's Hardy again.
Hit hard at the 39. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Indians had an offset line on that one. They had most everybody on the right-hand side of the field or the formation, and Gator Wilder ran behind, but only picked up 2 yards.
Matulovic at the bottom, Sears in the slot, Hippolyte in the top. It's Bentley looking for Sears. He's got to pull it down and run there. A couple of flags come in. Brooks across the 45.
Going to be holding. I mean, that came in from all over the place, so I'm pretty sure that's a holding penalty. And that's a spot foul, too, so it's going to be a big penalty against the Indians. Brooks did pick up the first down on the scramble, but the penalty is going to be costly.
It is a hold. We'll see where the Indians back up to.
So the spot of the foul looks like it's going to be the 34-yard line. So it's going to go back to the 24. So that's going to make it 3rd and 22, if I calculated properly.
And that was a clear pass play as Brooks had to pull it down and run. He was looking for Keon Sears on the slant, but Keon was blanketed. So Brooks had to run. And again, that's the grit of Brooks. Even still able to get the first down. Unfortunately, the penalty brings it back.
Watch out for it might be a quick pooch punt here. Let's see what they do. No, they ran a play.
He's got to roll out to the right, and he's sacked at the 20. Actually, it's a 1-yard gain, or back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 4th and 22.
They brought pressure really hard on that one. Brooks had to move up in the pocket and try to buy some time, but to no avail.
So Kotov and the punt team will come out. That's number 10, Tyler Williams, back on the 30.
Oh.
And it's a shank. Goes out right about the, let's see where the ball spot is.
It maybe went 6 or 7 yards at the most.
Shanked off the side of Kotov's foot.
Yeah, they gave him 9 yards on the 11 yards on the punt.
So the ball will be on the Indians' 35-yard line.
We did see one of those yesterday in practice. Unfortunately, we saw it here in the game too as well. So almost like a turnover there for the Dreadnaughts, and so now the Indians are got to play defense again, and they're starting in our side of the field at 35-yard line.
That's Daenerys Johnson in the backfield. First play is to him up the middle. Good diving tackle by Jack Huber. Tackled at the 34-yard line. 1-yard gain to be 2nd and 9.
Jack seems to be I'll have a lot of energy today. He's looking good so far.
Huber Jack, attaboy.
Huber Jack.
And 7-7 ball game. 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Live from Drive Pink Stadium. Plouffe back in the shotgun. He'll hand it off to Daenerys Johnson again. Falls forward across the 30 out to the 28-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Kintai and Wood on the tackle.
28-yard line. Check that.
So 3rd and 3 for the Dreadnaughts. See if the Indians can hold them here. Seem to be working inside the tackles, and so far so good for the Dreadnaughts.
That's Johnson again, hit by Atkins. He's going to be shy of the first. It'll be 4th down and 2. Big tackle.
Yeah, I guess a 1-yard gain right there. Colin Atkins came off his block nice, kind of running behind the play and was able to bring Johnson down.
And they're going jumbo again as Milford comes in on the left side. The speedy Markel Johnson, the up man. They're going to go same formation. It's a handoff to Markel Johnson. He dives forward for the 1st down.
Elliott Washington, a little fired up. I think they kind of knew that was coming, and they weren't prepared for it for whatever reason, and they just got enough yardage for the 1st down.
Ball's on the 23-yard line. Again, that handoff is so quick, and it has to be.
And all they're doing is they're just sealing down on that end, and then it's just a little scrape off that left tackle, and boom, it's a gain.
They're going to split them out. They go 4 wide. The handoff is to Johnson again. He'll run up the middle down to the 16-yard line.
Initial hit by Trenton Kintai, cleaned up there, looks like by Colin Atkins. So the 2 D tackles again are major part in the tackle on these plays. And it's by the end of the first quarter.
And that's it here in the first quarter. Indians scored first. Would have been on defense most of this first quarter. We go to the second. We'll be back here in a couple of minutes. We'll flip the field live from Drive Pink Stadium. It's the 4S State Championship game. Your Venice Indians and the Lakeland Dreadnaughts. We'll be right back. Back here from Drive Pink Stadium, it's the second quarter. Tie score 7-7. Lakeland with the ball fires on the far side of the field. Well out of bounds. Good coverage by Carter Dalton.
Yeah, Plus tried to hit, looks like Zipperer, but Dalton was right there. Great coverage by Dalton.
So it'll be 3rd down and 4. And now flip the field. The Dreadnaughts moving from left to right on your screen. Defense has been out there for quite a while.
So, again, they feel like they got this sort of off-tackle play going. Would they just run two runs here to get 4 yards? I mean, I think that's what their strategy is going to be here, although they are spreading us out a little bit.
It's going to be Johnson on the carry to the far side. Jack Huber wraps him up. He gets away. Colin Atkins and Eli Seed clean it up. So it's a loss on the play. Good job by the defense. Jack Huber flying all over the field today.
Read the play, came up, had him by the hips, kind of spun him around, and just couldn't get him down. But Atkins was there to help him out to get the tackle for a loss, a good 4-yard loss on that one.
That was Markel Johnson, and the Dreadnaughts are going to bring the field goal unit out. As this will be a 28-yard field goal.
Actually, it's 38.
38, yes, you're right. 38-yard field goal. The kick is up. It's no good. No good, short, just under the crossbar. So a big win for the Indian defense there.
Yes, definitely. That was, not much of a kick. It sort of came out a little high and weak to the left. I'm trying to see if I can get the replay on that one.
He didn't look like he had much of a leg on the kickoff, the one kickoff they've had today.
It just had a real sort of weak look to it, almost like if there was a wind, it would have probably knocked it down pretty good. But nonetheless, Indians take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
All right, so we're moving from right to left on your dial. It's Alvin Johnson, and they go 4 wide. Bentley's going to keep it up the middle, out to the 23-yard line. A good 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 7.
If Brooks could have broke that tackle, he probably could have went for 20 more yards.
Absolutely. Thanks to all those for watching out on our Facebook pages. Please do not click on those links in the chat. And we've got movement all over. I think Lakeland jumped.
Yeah, the ref on the far side of the field indicated it is offsides against the Dreadnaughts.
So move the Indians up 5. It goes 2nd and 7 now to 2nd down and 2. And you'll take it.
Yeah.
Take every one of these penalties.
Those little 5-yard penalties, they can add up, and they can that can slow down a defensive line as well.
Brooks looking for Sears. Fires it low. Oh, no. They called it incomplete. Sears looked like he brought it in. We'll look on the replay.
No, it was short. I mean, he definitely he was covered very well.
It was a good throw, only where Keon could get it.
And now it's a 3rd and 2 for the Indians.
3rd down and 2. Johnson, 1st down across the 30.
Easily on the 1st down.
Alvin Johnson tackled at the 33-yard line.
Nice blocking by the right side of the line by Matthew Peevely over there. Up to the 33. You're going to have 5-yard gain and a 1st down.
Johnson to the left of Bentley. 3 wide in the near side of the field. Johnson's got to cut up the field across the 35. Says forward progress stopped to the 36. So 3-yard gain will be 2nd down and 7.
Look like the outside left linebacker might be Riley on the tackle. Another guy's offsides. He can't walk out, so they just called it. Number 1 was just walking around over the ball, and then he kind of just walked across the line of scrimmage, kind of lost track where he was, and just an easy 5 yards for the Indians.
Got to take any advantage you can get if you can get away with it.
His buddy was looking at him like, what are you doing walking on their side of the field there? So especially if the ball was spotted.
10:27 left here in the second quarter,
So
and Indians won the toss, defer to the second half.
2nd and 2.
That's Johnson again, tackled right at the first down marker.
I think they're going to give it to him to where the spot is, because the spot was just short, just at the that's a first down. If they're looking at, they should see that pretty much spot on. That should be a first down. Oh, they're going to measure it.
And it's close. I mean, if you look at the tip of the ball from up here, that's a first down by a couple of inches.
Yeah, because the ball looks like it's touching the 30, the 43, and it would be where the down marker is. It looks like the marker is short of the 43. Looks like a good half of the ball for a first down. So.
And again, this is another win right here with having to bring out this measurement. This is another win for both the Indians offense and the defense. Just gives them a little more time to take a breather on the defensive side.
Yeah, that's definite.
They've been on the field for quite a bit of this ball game. Love seeing all the activity here on our social media pages. Thanks for watching or listening here on the Venice Indian Football Facebook page, Venice High School Facebook page, and youtube.com/VTV News VHS. They brought out the sticks, and it is a first down Indians on the 43-yard line, their own 43-yard line.
So, yeah, he did get the 2 yards, and on we go to first down.
There's been a lot of Alvin Johnson here on this drive.
Now we got a situation with the ball. All right, we got that taken care of, and we're off and running.
On the right side of the field, right hash mark. That's Johnson again. He's got the counter cut up the field.
Mask. My goodness, face mask. That was like, that's what they put in the dictionary when you describe face mask. He not only did he get him, he grabbed him and threw him around by his face mask as well.
That was Larry Jones III.
He acted like he didn't do anything.
Here's the replay. You can't see it, but we can. Oh wow. Yes, he
did have part of his shoulder pad, but he got the face mask initially, and that's why Alvin's head turned around like it did.
That's 3 big penalties on this drive for the Dreadnaughts. That'll put the Indians on the Lakeland side of the field. Ball's on the 44-yard line. 9:48 left here in the second quarter.
There's this quick huddle with that offset line again over to the left this time. And
Bentley's going to keep it over the right side across the 40. Good run by Brooks out to the 38-yard line.
They were looking for another face mask penalty. I don't think they had it. The referee was about to throw it on the far side as Coach Peacock was sort of yelling at him, but it was not a face mask.
It'll be 2nd down and 4. And another jump by Lakeland will give the Indians another first down. So you're seeing where discipline comes into play. 4 penalties on this drive have given the Indians 3 first downs.
Josh, I'll say this. The last defensive series, I'll finish my point when we get this done with this play real quick.
So go 3 wide down the near side. Johnson to the left. Brooks will pull it in, and he's hit in the backfield. That's number 1, Jones III. A quarterback sack. He was able to jump the count and made it right through untouched.
It looked like almost like the offensive line wasn't on the same page on that play. It might have been an RPO of some sort, but they didn't look they're ready to block on that one. Loss of 5.
2nd down and 15. Bentley looking for the swing to Sears. He escapes one tackler, brought down to the 45. They'll get 3 yards back. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Quick little play. Again, their secondary is very fast. They came up right away on that play and were there to make the tackle.
The clouds are burning off. It is bright down there on the field.
Yeah, everything is sort of brightening up really quick. So night turned into a real nice afternoon.
Jones comes in on the near side. They'll go trips on the right.
They're flipping the formation. You got 7 seconds, 6 seconds left on the play clock. Still enough time to get it off.
3-2. There it is. Brooks will keep it over the right side. He'll flip it to Keon at the 23. Keon Sears to the 10. Keon Sears still going to the 5. You can't bring him down. They finally do it the 4. What a play by Brooks Bentley.
That's what I was going to say. That was all Brooks Bentley. He was stopped, looking, he was going to try to run it, get ready to get tackled, flips it over to Keon Sears all the way inside to the 4-yard line of the Lakeland Dreadnaughts. Keon took it upon himself to get those last 4 or 5 yards by just bouncing around like a rubber ball and what a play by him and Brent Brooks right there. First and goal at the Lakeland 4-yard line.
Johnson will get the carry over the
Touchdown.
right side. Alvin Johnson, touchdown! Another score for the Indians, and it's 13-7.
And that was patience on that, letting Lakeland make a lot of mistakes on defense, and then making a play. Both guys making a play when there was no play that was falling apart. Brooks to Keon Sears, and hopefully you get an extra point here to go up 7.
Kick is up from Kotov,
good.
and it's good. And with 7:31, the Indians extend the lead to 14-7. What a drive by the offense!
So I'll just say what I was going to say before. The series before that, the defense, they were jawing at Coach Peacock. Okay.
Yeah.
They stopped us, whatever happened, and it looked like the Lakeland defense came out way overconfident on that situation in that last series. You had 4 penalties. A couple of them were just not paying attention and being overly aggressive, and Venice took advantage of it, and there we are at Dreadnaughts Field making it 14-7.
What a play. Brooks Bentley again sets up the touchdown. And he was hammered on that play. I mean, he had him by the shoulder pads. Brooks just flipped it. And, as impressive as the throw was by Brooks, it was equally as impressive for Keon not to go down. He was hit hard a couple of times and was able to get down to the 4-yard line.
I thought he was going to score. I mean, the way he was
just
bouncing
kept going.
Around, I don't see anybody was going to stop him.
All right, so Kotov gets a chance to kick from his 40. Going from right to left on your dial. It's a line drive kick well into the end zone.
Yeah, deep in the end zone. Perfect.
The Dreadnaughts will start on their own 20-yard line.
See if the offense can make another long drive out of this.
Again, thanks to all those for watching. Those who couldn't make it here. And if you're watching in the stands, we appreciate you. Do not click on those links in the chat. I can't say it enough. I know it's repetitive, but I don't want anything to happen to your computers. Just stay right here and listen to John Massoni, the best color man in the business, and myself. It's 14-7, 7:31 left here in the first half. That's Plouffe looking on the near side.
Oh.
It's complete to number 16, Joel Vasquez. Just kind of bit Dalen Platt on that. It's good for 8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
Good thing Jack Huber was hustling downfield, because when Dalen missed him, if it wasn't for Jack, Vasquez was gone.
They're going to say
go the whole way.
It's second and 3. It's the first completion. Second completion for Plouffe. So the first one was to Elliott Washington that set up the Indians' first score, but first completion for the Lakeland quarterback.
There's that quick dive again. First down.
That's number 22 again, Markel Johnson.
Damon Wilson on the tackle on that one.
Out to the 32-yard line.
Just a quick hitter. They just get a seal block on that side. That time he cut it inside the end where Damon was at. Damon made the tackle, but not before he picked up 4 yards and a first down. Make it 5 yards and a first down.
And Lakeland not in a hurry, just getting up to the line. 20 seconds left on the play clock. Very different offense than the tempo offense of your Indians. Handoff is to Rucker again. He's hit by Atkins at the 34, falls forward to the 35. 3 yards on first down. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Good play by Colin Atkins. He shed the block and was able to go ahead and get a hold of Rucker. Rucker was coming at him fast, but he had the strength to just hold him to a 3-yard gain, I should say. And the Dreadnaughts are not in a rush. They're about trying to make this game quick. 6 minutes left in the first half, and they're slowing it down.
Looking on the far side over the outstretched arms of Tyler Williams. It'll be 3rd down.
Williams was open. I wouldn't say he was wide open, but he was open. But Plouffe just overthrew him by a good 4 or 5 feet over his head.
It's hard to overthrow a 6'5 receiver.
Yeah, no doubt.
But Plouffe did just that.
There's a timeout here. Looks like water break for the referees. Josh, real quick, while we got a chance, I'll give you some quick first quarter stats. Lakeland was 0 for 1 with an interception passing. 19 carries, 88 yards. The majority of those on the long touchdown drive for the Dreadnaughts. Looking to slow this game down, get the Indians off their pace offense or their tempo offense. But flip it over and you look at the Venice Indians and say, oh, okay, what did they do? Well, I'll tell you right now, they had only 5 plays in the first quarter, and those 5 plays amounted to a touchdown, and then, of course, a 3 and out as well. 4 carries, 23 yards, a touchdown by Brooks Bentley on the run, and then 1-for-1 passing to Keon Sears for 7. So the Dreadnaughts ran, looks like 20 plays. Indians ran 6.
So what you're saying is that last offensive possession was huge for the Indians' defense.
It sort of changed the momentum of what was going on right there. So a very important driver there. And this is an important play right here, 3rd and 7.
3rd down and 7, 5:55 left here in the second quarter. Williams now on the near side. It's still Rucker in the backfield. Plus, he's looking for Williams. He'll connect at the 40. And he runs out. That is Velasquez for the first down.
Interesting play call right there. If you saw what they did, they took Rucker and they ran a wheel route with him, and everybody kind of ran with him, and they snuck Vasquez in behind him to an open, vacant part of the field. Very easy pitch and catch for the first down. 11-yard gain.
Ball's on the 46-yard line of the Dreadnaughts.
So Plus is he's got control of the offense. You can see he saw that play develop. He didn't bite and go for the wheel route.
And it looks like the receiver got off a little early on the play. We've got a whistle on the field.
They're looking for the footballs again or something.
No, I think the player now here is mouthpiece.
Equipment issue.
Yeah, something about his equipment. They were pointing to his mouth, but so the play is whistled dead, and we'll reset here. 1st and 10 on the 46. 5:45 left here in the second quarter.
Twins receivers.
And again, getting off early on the near side. The pass is complete to number 5, Elijah Hardy.
No, that's actually
or number 6. That's Zipper. These numbers are hard to see.
Yeah, they got those numbers that they bunch up, and you can't tell if it's a 0, a 6, or an 8. Even a 5. Gain of 8 on that play.
2nd down and 2. Now on the Indian side of the field on the 46.
You can do a lot on 2nd and 2 right now. Let's see what they come out with. I see they got Johnson in it, and they do that little dive play up the middle.
And it's a first down, or he just got it out to the 43.
Tyler Lewis on the tackle with a little help from Eli Seed. Picks up 3, first down. I like to see they're 5, 3, 4. That all those runs are they're just right there. They're consistent, getting momentum on. They're winning the line of scrimmage, obviously, and getting those first downs and keeping those chains moving.
Zipper and Williams at the top. Handoff's going to be to Rucker on the draw. There's a flag on the far side. Rucker around the 30. He's brought down inside the 25-yard line. There is a flag on the far side of the field.
Usually that looks like it could have been a hold or something because they saw something. Almost could have got a horse collar tackle on the play as well on Jacavius Washington. Let's see what the penalty turns out to be, though.
Waiting on the official's call.
Don't see a lot of draw plays anymore in high school football.
No.
That was a classic draw play.
And here's the official with the call.
Illegal shift.
So it'll back the Dreadnaughts up.
Should be a 5-yard penalty. So no play on that one with just a 5-yard penalty, and then they'll get 1st and 15. But a well-designed play. I look for that again later in the game. The way the Indians came upfield on almost a short pass look.
Yeah.
And they came upfield, and then the draw play, and then you saw the gaps in the line where he picked up a nice. That was almost a 20-yard gain.
Back him up to the 48. And you're right. I mean, that could have been a horse collar, and that would have been not good. But either way, 1st and 15 from the 48-yard line. Rucker to the right of Plus. And the shotgun trying to find a receiver. Damon Wilson in front of him. Tyler Lewis with the sack. Plouffe saw Damon and stopped in his tracks. Lewis came up to finish it off. It's a big loss for Lakeland to their own 43-yard line.
Well, it's kind of funny. Tyler Lewis well deserved that sack, but I can tell he go thank his buddy Damon Wilson because he saw Damon turn around and Tyler just got the quarterback right in his waiting arms. But both of them should get some credit for that one.
And good for Tyler as they've been running a lot to that side, trying to stay away from Damon. Tyler kind of that left side of the line kind of got gashed a little bit in the first quarter. So good for Tyler to come up with that sack. It'll be 2nd and 24. Plouffe's looking. Got him again!
That time it was Damon Wilson.
Inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Damon Wilson with the sack.
Yeah, great play by Damon. Just a pure speed rush upfield. That looked like a classic defensive end move right there. Came outside the tackle right there, and he hit Plouffe up around the shoulder, and down he went for another 4-yard loss.
Down to the 39-yard line. It's 3rd and 18.
Actually, I got 3rd and 28.
I do too. I'm not sure what. 3rd and 24. There we go. Down to 3:04. It's another draw to Rucker. Up the middle, back to the 50. Still 7 yards shy of the first down.
Jacavius Washington and Carter Dalton on the tackle.
And it's going to be a timeout. Timeout Venice.
Venice, yeah, because there's 2:53 left in the half, and coach is trying to save as much of his time as he can.
It'll be 4th and 7 from midfield. 2 sacks in a row. Damon Wilson contributed on one and made the other.
We talk a lot the last couple of games about these little 5-yard penalties, how they hurt you. 5-yard illegal shift penalty.
Yep.
Takes a 20-yard gain away from the Dreadnaughts, puts them in a throwing situation, and 2 sacks, and now they're punting back to the Indians. Just how you don't think, oh, it's only a 5-yard penalty. No, it's actually a 25-yard penalty.
Absolutely.
So that's what happens in those situations. And so Indians defense took advantage of it. Good to see that defensive line get him off the ball like they did on those 2 pass rushes. That was nice, really nice.
2:53 left here in the first half. It's actually 4th.
4th and 17.
And 17.
Yeah. Back deep is Keon Sears about the 10-yard line. I think
that's Williams.
He's their punter, and he's a playmaker too. So, got to be careful. They talked about playing punt safe on this because he can make plays.
And he's going to kick it. It's a sideways punt.
Just let it go.
It takes a Lakeland bounce all the way down to the Indians' 4 or 5-yard line.
There's a flag up at the top of the field by the line of scrimmage there. Let's see what that is. Obviously, if it's against the Dreadnaughts, I'd make them kick it again. And that kick was odd because he kicked it so it was spinning like a top.
Right.
As opposed to like a more normal spiral, so spinning awkwardly. Personal foul face mask against the Dreadnaughts. Take it back. There you go.
Absolutely. So Lakeland, a lot of mental mistakes, and the Indians able to capitalize here as they. I think they're going to have to punt again.
Yes.
Not a great punt, just took a great bounce.
Maybe he's asking if he can take it on the end of the play. It might be the case. Let's see if that is the case. That puts him back to the 20-yard line, which I think he would take right now. He's going to do that. Coach is going to do that. He's going to take the penalty and have it be marked off from the 5, so he'll get the ball on the 20-yard line. He's taking the 15 there. I like that.
That's smart.
I like that.
Because if it takes another bounce like that.
Well, no. What's going on? Maybe not.
We're going to have to make him re-kick.
Okay. Well, they were talking about it. Looked like it was about to happen. Everybody, whatever, and they're going the other way with it. But either way, it's fine.
So it's a 15-yard penalty, so Lakeland will be punting from their own 35.
That's it. So it's 4th and 32 now after that penalty.
Yard down and distance off here on the scoreboards at Drive Pink Stadium. 2:41 left here
now remember,
in the first half.
That's usually a referee up top who does the down and distance. So he's somehow another 5 yards off where he should be.
So Williams has to punt it again, and he holds it sideways. It's a line drive kick. Sears will get it on his 26-yard line. He makes a move to the inside before he's brought down to the 35 by a host of Dreadnaughts, and he's still not down. And they were holding his leg. Not sure why that was let go, but
I think Keon may have embellished just a little bit, but nonetheless.
well, we are at a soccer stadium.
He can do that, right?
Known for flopping here. The home of Miami CF, owned by soccer legend David Beckham.
All right, so better yet with balls at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Indians, and so we'll see what they can get something done here with 2:26 left in the half.
And the Indians will receive the second half kickoff as they won the opening kickoff and deferred to the second half. 1 timeout for the Indians, 2:26 balls on the near side, hash mark. And it's a fake to Wilder. He's going to come back with the screen in and out of his hands. As if he would have caught it, it would have been back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Like the design of the play, the execution wasn't great. Kind of looked like the Lakeland player didn't fall for that for the fake or whatever, but he was in the middle of that play. But if without him there, that could have went a long way.
Bentley rolls out to the right, looking for Sears at the top of the screen. Picked up, in and out of his hands.
That's McLean.
So it's incomplete. Cormani McLean can't bring it in.
Keon went to play defense almost immediately as that throw was coming his way. Looked like he saw that was going to be overthrown, and made a nice play to help break up that interception.
And Brooks has underthrown a couple of receivers today.
Now this is sort of peculiar here. I mean, when coach normally comes out and he's clock management, but he went 2 passes right away. So 3rd down right here. If they don't get the 1st down, Lakeland's going to be calling a timeout, trying to get that ball back.
Sears goes in motion. Bentley's got to roll out to the right. Everyone's covered. He's got to escape the rush. Flips it out, and it falls incomplete. It was intended for Matulovic.
Might have been better off just to take the sack right there, because then now the clock is stopped again at 2:10 on the clock.
It's 4th down and 10.
And Krill did not have a good punt the last time, so hope that's not stuck in his head.
So the Dreadnaughts will get it back with pretty much with 2 minutes left here in the first half.
And a dangerous returner back there in Tyler Williams. Better kick, short, but a better kick.
Get out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line, right at the 42. So 2 minutes and 3 seconds left. Lakeland with 2 timeouts, Indians with 1, and the Indians leading 14-7.
That was a 25-yard punt by Kotoff.
And very little wind. I don't know.
That was.
It is a little bit at him right now if you look at the flags, but.
So I'll tell you what that was, Josh. I'll use some golf analogy for you right here. That was a 9-iron off the tee after you shanked one with the driver the last time.
Safe punt.
Yeah, he was making sure he didn't miss it. That's for sure.
So ball's in the 42. Dreadnaughts moving from left to right. The handoff is to Rucker. That is Daenerys Johnson to the near side. He's brought down at the 46-yard line.
Dalen Platt on the tackle.
4-yard gain will be 2nd down and 6.
Along with Tyler Lewis and Dominic Wood.
And he did not get out of bounds, so the clock's still running down to 1:30 left here in the first half. Dreadnaughts in no hurry.
I think the Dreadnaughts are going to see if they get a first down. I think you'll see them pick up the tempo here. Look for a pass right here.
Williams on the top of your screen. Plouffe is looking over the middle. Incomplete pass was intended for Velasquez.
See, now that's the wrong play. He's trying to go for the ball, and the guy's on the ground. He's going low. That's not targeting. That's not any of that stuff. That's ridiculous. That's a bad call right there.
15-yard penalty on the Indians. As we look at the replay here, I mean, he was going for the ball. It just happened to be at the same time. I don't think Jaquavius Washington, it was not targeting, but the officials saw it differently, so it's a big first down for the Dreadnaughts. Stops the clock and puts them on the Indian side of the field at the 39-yard line.
See, I look at that and I say, you better be sure that that's the play. That's the call. You got to be sure of that.
So in a sense, works as a timeout for Lakeland as they're able to take a quick breather here.
I don't know. Like I said, I have a hard time with that call. 1:18 left in the first half.
1st and 10 on the 39. Plouffe looking for Williams on the far side of the field. Hit right at the 34 by Washington and pushed out. So that'll just takes 4 seconds off the clock. 1:14 left. Ball's on the 34. It'd be 2nd down and 5.
We played them in the spring. That was the play they ran 3 or 4 times in a row against us. And then Elliott started coming up. You guys have to be careful because that's double move time. Sometimes you see the corner start inching up, and they'll say, hey, if you see something, he wants to come up and try to break it up, you be ready to go and then break it off and try to get in the end zone.
Ball's on the left hash mark on the far side of the field. 2nd down and 5. Plouffe looking, they're running the option, flips it over to Johnson, and he's got open space across the 25, pushed out of the 21-yard line. A big first down for Lakeland, and again, just able to get out of bounds, so it stops the clock with 1:06 left here in the first. First time we've seen the option play.
Plouffe patient on that play, read the end, let him come up for him, and then Dominic Wood could not make the play at the line of scrimmage, and it was up to Jacavius Washington to make the stop on that play.
1st and 10 from the Indians, 21. That's a run by Johnson back out to the 20-yard line, 1-yard gain. Be 2nd down and 9, and there's a timeout. Lakeland with 58 seconds left here in the second quarter.
Good play again by Jack Huber on the tackle. So, yeah, I mean, right now, that sequence of plays where the Indians went through 3 times, again, you got to go for it. State championship, I understand.
100%.
We get the ball in the second half, so you got to do it. You got to take that chance. Just unfortunate they didn't connect, and then a short punt, and here we go, and a penalty, and Lakeland's in business.
And 58 seconds left. Thanks for watching us on our social media pages. Let us know you're here in the chat. If I can get to it, I will. Obviously, all the bots showing up.
I know you and I both were doing this stuff. We're getting texts from people all over the place. Everybody back in Venice that's watching and listening and doing all that stuff. Hi from us here at Drive Pink Stadium. Appreciate you guys doing that. I'm trying to get back to you with as much updates as I possibly can via either my voice or my finger with the text messaging.
Well, if you know someone who's texting us for updates, let them know where they can listen to the broadcast for free. I mean,
absolutely. I think they are, but they're sort of like, it's the
insider, like, hey, what's going on? All right, so 2nd down and 9 from the 20. Plouffe is looking down the near side for Williams. He's got it out of the 10 for a first down. A slow developing play there.
Again, lots of room given to them on that one. A 10-yard gain and a first down. So
1st and goal from the 10.
You can't. That's too easy of a pitch and catch for the quality of player that both Plouffe and Williams are. And 1st and goal is about as long as you can go. 1st and 10, 1st and goal. Got to go the whole full 10 yards.
Williams moves to the top of your screen.
Oh, look like 6 jump.
Daenerys Johnson they're looking for the option once again. There's a flag, and Plouffe dives into the end zone, but there is a flag on the field.
Sure, it's going to be on the offense, and he's talking to Lakeland coaches about it. So we'll see what they see here. Personal foul. Hands to the head against Lakeland. So that's a 15-yarder. That's a huge penalty.
They go from 1st and goal from the 10 to 2nd and goal now from the 25.
Actually, I don't know if it's a dead ball foul. We'll have to see what it comes to. Should be 1st and goal at the 25. We'll see what it comes to.
So another bad penalty for the Dreadnaughts puts them on the 24. This is a 14-yard penalty from the original line of scrimmage.
So back to 1st and goal. Contact to the head. That's what they said. So that could be, it sounds funny. It could just be like you come off the ball and it's a head slap. You're probably not trying to do that. I wouldn't think you would be. And your hands get up on the guy and you hit him right in the head.
47 seconds left. It's the Wildcat. Williams in on the far side. Trying to get out of bounds, and they did not get out of bounds, so the clock will run. 32 seconds left, and the Dreadnaughts will call their final timeout.
And Dalton all in on that tackle.
only a 2-yard gain, but a lot of time off the clock for Lakeland, and they have to burn their final timeout here in the first half.
Yeah, I'll say that the play, it looked like Williams just had nothing to go, nowhere to go. He had a pitch man there, but giving it to him wasn't going to do anything. So I think Williams is just trying to find if he get maybe a little bit of a crease. But you had Elliott Washington, Damon Wilson in pursuit. You had Carter Dalton filling the hole, and you had a bunch of Indians right there. He had nowhere to go, and it's a great play on the defensive side.
So 2nd and 22.
Looking right now at the Lakeland huddle on sideline, look like I see a lot of offensive linemen sucking for air right now. They look beat. Well, look, they've run in both quarters now, filling the stat sheet up. 20 plays there and another almost 20 plays here, so 40 plays, almost at least 40 plays in the first half.
And you can see it on the broadcast. They're tired.
They're tired. Now, our defense is a little tired too. I will say that, but doesn't look nearly as tired as the Lakeland offensive line is right now.
No timeouts left for Lakeland, so got to keep them in bounds here. 2nd down and 22, 30 seconds left.
Timeout. Coach Peacock didn't like the defense he saw. Was a little. What I'm seeing, and I think what Coach might have seen, is that you had Williams down here one-on-one with a big cushion from Elliott Washington with nobody in the middle of the field. So I think that Coach wanted to maybe sort of shore that defense up a little bit. Spread them out super wide and get an athlete on an athlete and see who can make a play, especially on a 2nd and 22. It looks like a pretty safe call, so you got to be careful with that. You don't want to give up any cheap touchdowns.
And that was the Indians' final timeout of the first half.
And well taken, because if you get the ball back at this point, even deep in their territory, you're probably not going to look to do that with getting the ball back in the second half.
So 2nd and 22. 30 seconds left.
Mentioned people back at home in Venice and whatnot, but I got friends in Ohio texting. Sending love up to Ohio. It's all good. And
we've got an incredible number of viewers here on the stream, so thanks for watching.
No, this is fun to have everybody sort of communicating with us like this. That's always been. It was fun last year and fun again this year.
All right, so here we go. 2nd and 22. Plus looking down the far side. Pass falls incomplete, and there's a flag.
I'm not going to argue that call. I mean, Dalen was on him. He never turned his head to him. Ball was not a good throw. But nonetheless, he sort of did. But that's going to be a 15-yard penalty back the other direction. It's not a spot foul in high school football, so just a 15-yard penalty. Still, it's first down. Second down. It is second down.
Pass was intended for Dadrin Zipperer. Just never got the head around.
And Zipperer also is still down. It looks like he's working on a cramp or something, getting help from his compadre over there, Williams.
He grabbed his left leg pretty quickly.
Yeah, so I think he might have cramped up a little bit.
So 1st and 11 now, from the 11, or 2nd and 11, 1st and 11.
It should still be second.
Okay.
You think there's no automatic first downs from any type of penalties like that and so it's 2nd and 11 because it's half the distance.
25 seconds left here in the first half. This last minute has felt like an eternity.
Well, the game
we've had
was
penalties,
going,
we've had
the game
timeouts.
was going so fast. We were at a 45-minute pace, and now they slowed it down with penalties. See what we can do here on defense.
That's Plus looking on the far side. Pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, no, he never caught it. He dropped it, no doubt about that.
Pass was intended for Jaron Dennis.
He's a big-looking receiver right there, too. Nice-looking. I mean, it's like had made a nice little route right there. Just a ball.
Here's the replay. 6'6", 205.
Yeah, big kid.
Yeah, no, he was well out of it. I mean, he caught it, but he was out of bounds when he caught it. So 3rd down and 11. Let's look at it again. I know you can't see it on your screen.
See, he's out. See, he's saying he caught it. He did, but the first thing to touch the ground was his elbow out of bounds. So even if he had caught it, I mean, if he did caught it, it was
got a receiver down the near side. Platt's got to get over to cover him. He does. And it's a
delay game.
It's a delay of game for Lakeland, so that is huge. That is huge for the Indians as Velasquez was down the near side of the field, completely uncovered. Dalen Platt had to sprint over to get him. So it's now 3rd and 16.
That's the 8th penalty in this quarter alone for the Lakeland Dreadnaughts, and they moved up top again.
Yes, they did. Plus has to take it himself. Brought down to the 10.
And he's not
Across the 8. They got to get back up to the line. 10 seconds.
But it's 4th down, and he can't clock it. He's got to run a play.
And he's got a receiver down the near side. Completely blown coverage for the score.
Wow. 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 Unbelievable.
Just a defensive miscue. That was number 85, Omari Mixon, uncovered for the score. And the Dreadnaughts are 1 point away from tying this one up as we head to the second half.
I mean, he was all the way out. This is what happened earlier when I said about Williams was down here, and it was all by himself. Just nobody saw the receiver down here, and just easy pickings. He just had to lob it up there.
Kick is up, and it's good. And that'll do it here in the first half as Lakeland scores with no time remaining in the first half to tie it at 14. Just when we thought the Indians' defense was able to hold them here in the first half, just an unfortunate miscue, and now it is a 0-0 ball game.
Psychologically, you have to shake that one off. I mean, it's going to be a lot to talk about, a lot to say in the locker room. But that play alone, you got to go in there and say we got to forget about that one. That's just a mental lapse on your defense. So everybody rushing around on a play that probably, if Plus wasn't if Plus didn't carry the ball, let's just say that,
absolutely,
he probably wouldn't have got that play off because he was right there ready to go on that play.
So we are going to take a halftime break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with your halftime stats. Don't go anywhere. You're watching today's F4S FHSAA State Championship game only on Venice Indian Facebook, YouTube, and Venice High School social media pages. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Back here on the broadcast, live from Drive Pink Stadium, it's 14-all, and here's John Massoni with your halftime stats.
Well, statistically, it wasn't very much of a windfall for the Indians, starting there with the rushing game. 11 carries, 41 yards, 2 touchdowns, however. Gator Wilder, 2 catches, 3 yards. Alvin Johnson, 4 carries, 14 yards, and a touchdown. And then Brooks Bentley, 5 carries for 24 yards and a touchdown. Scrambled really well, though. I mean, he saved the touchdown, and obviously, and then the pass to Keon Sears also was a big play. Passing wise, Brooks Bentley 3 for 7 for 41 yards. All those passes completions to Keon Sears.
It hasn't been much going for him in the passing game at all. No, haven't been able to get open.
No, I mean, and it's one of those things where a little bit of rush from the defensive line, and I will say this too, a little bit to do with Lakeland's offense. They've controlled the ball. I don't keep track of the time of possession, but I got to tell you, it's got to be a 70-30 sort of split at this point of time and possession. So that's been a big factor. Getting to Lakeland on their offside of the ball offensively, 31 carries in the first half for 120 yards. That's 4 yards a carry. It's nothing crazily impressive, but 4 yards is going to get you a lot of first downs on a fourth down and whatnot. Kept that first drive alive on a couple of those fourth down plays. Passing wise, 6 for 10 pluses for 50 yards. The last one being the most important one was the touchdown pass to Mixon for the touchdown. But again, if statistically looking at it, they've doubled our output. You can double our output, doubled our time of possession. You can see that.
Yeah.
I did write this down where the big differences come into play, and nothing that I can see. Maybe I complained a little bit about the Jacavius Washington personal foul call, but Lakeland only in the second quarter 8 penalties for 85 yards. Working against them on both sides of the field, kept drives alive for us and stalled them out a little bit. And then Venice was 5 penalties for 56 yards, which again I know coaches not want to be on a 10 penalty pace for any game in particular. That's no matter who he's playing. You don't want to do that at all. The one turnover was the first pass by Plus, by interception by Elliott Washington, which led to the first touchdown. So again.
That last touchdown, you got to flush it and you got to go.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit after we went off the air a little bit there for our halftime break. That's one of those ones you got to look at. You got to say, okay, guys, we're 14-14. Okay,
right.
we should be 14-7, and we didn't play our best half of football.
No, absolutely not.
Now, what did we do? We managed things very well.
Right.
Okay, so you look at it and say, what do you mean? So, well, Lakeland sort of beat themselves in some ways, or moved whatever. So now you got to go out there and you got to say, okay, we didn't play our best brand of football. Let's go do what we can do in the second half, and we should win this football game.
Indians will receive the second half kickoff. We have to come out just like they did on the Elliott Washington interception, and then 2 plays later the touchdown. Have to come out and hit the defense hard here to start this second half. Even though it's a tie ball game, you got to think the momentum is on the Lakeland side of the field.
Oh, it is right now. They're sky high. But if they're not looking at themselves in the mirror, I'd say right now that we didn't play, we screwed up.
Yeah,
they screwed up a lot in that first half. So if they're going in there, coming out here and saying, "Hey, rinse and repeat on this thing. Let's go do the same thing we did in the first half," they're going to lose this football game. They can't do that. So I'm sure they're getting coached up just as hard as the Indians are right now. So clean slate, man. The stats don't matter right now. It's 14-14. The only stats that matters is the score, and it's a tie game right now. So who can come out and establish some things? We get the ball first in the second half, see what we can do with it, and then if we can go down the field and march down the field and put one on the board, game on at that point.
So we'll be back here in a couple minutes live on the broadcast, about 3 minutes away from the second half kickoff. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, back here on the broadcast from Drive Pink Stadium, about 3 minutes away from the second half kickoff. John, one thing the Indians need to do right away on this first offensive drive.
I mean, right now, like I said, they have not really established the line of scrimmage. A little sloppy around, at the point of attack where when they're trying to pass, Brooks is sort of under pressure right away. He's trying to get the ball out of his hands as fast as possible. I get that because those corners are coming up. They're not giving an inch in the secondary right now. Do you establish something where you maybe do it? You've established some of these smaller, these little shorter passes. Do you go out there and you do some double moves? But you got to get time. You have to have time in the pocket to do that kind of stuff. I will say this, and this is something that this last game of the year kind of situation. But the most effective play right now has been Brooks Bentley with the ball in his hands.
100%.
As far as a runner. So maybe it's time to just say, hey, look, guys, we're going to go power football right here. And we're going to be a dose of Brooks, Alvin, and Gator. And we'll mix in a pass or two when we need to. And we're going to establish the line of scrimmage. We're going to establish time of possession. We just saw we were kind of guessing at the time of possession, but we had 6 minutes and 24 seconds of time of possession in that first half, and they had 17 minutes.
Yeah.
No wonder why their offensive line was tired. So they're looking.
And no wonder why our defense was tired, and that mental lapse at the end of the first half.
Mental lapse has a lot to do with fatigue. There's no doubt about it. And if in a hurried situation, you got him, I got him, nobody's got him, and boom, there's a touchdown to be made right there. So I think they got to establish that. I think you come out and you say this is our brand of football. We got 24 minutes. 24 minutes of football to play, and it's 24 minutes of the state championship. If again at this point, this is a boxing match.
Who's going to duck first?
Lakeland's thrown a lot of jabs. Okay, they scored. They've thrown a lot of jabs, but quality punches have been equal.
Right.
And so I think that's where we stand, and let's see who can come out in the second half and score the most points and get the winning blow, to keep with the boxing analogy there.
And as we're watching their kicker, you need a good return, and Elliott Washington 14th best in the state on kickoff returns, but unfortunately their kicker, and it's not even strategy, he can't get it that far.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the formation goes, if they bring Elliott up, see what they can do there.
Well, and sometimes, we've seen it in the past that coaches implemented pooch kicks when our kicker couldn't get to the end zone. It's almost like a pooch kick.
Right.
Directionally, get him to a side, and they got guys that are flying down the field. So, they're there almost when he's catching the ball. Whoever he is, it could be Keon or it could be Elliott as well. So. We'll see. Again, I think one factor too, Josh, that we're looking into, if this game is close, I'm wondering about the fatigue factor for the Lakeland Dreadnaughts right now. I've seen guys cramping up that are receivers. I'm seeing guys that are getting stretched out right now on the sideline before the half.
Well, they worked out for an hour before the game.
They're probably, what time is it right now? It's
2:33.
They've been on the football field since almost 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Because when we got here at 11. They were on the field already, some of them were. And so you're looking at, that's a long time to be out there running drills and doing whatnot. So, yeah, it's been a long day of football already for those guys. We'll see what they got left. Hell, if you're a kid of this age, you're going to everything. You should have nothing left. You should be empty at this point, at the end of this game. So we'll see.
All right, so 14-all, no score. Score is tied at 0 if you look at it. And if you're watching on our social media page, thanks for joining us here from DRV Pink Stadium. Please do not click in the links in the chat. Those are bots and will damage your computer. I know everybody wants a link for free, but you get what you pay for.
Doesn't exist at this point. So just, don't do any of that stuff.
So you get us for free.
You do.
And there's not much better than that. So the Indians will receive this second half kickoff. We'll move from right to left on your screen. Back deep is Washington, Sears, and Gator Wilder.
Don't forget, Gator Wilder has an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown this year too, because he's the guy that we talk about the speedsters. He's a speedster. That kid's got all the speed he needs at that position and playing tailback.
Ball's on the near hash mark. And there's the kick. It is a short pooch kick. It'll be fielded by no one. Washington will have to get up and pick it up on the 10. Elliott Washington across the 20. Oh, man, if he could have gotten past those guys, That would have been a nice return, but it's out of the 25-yard line, 1st and 10 from the Indian 25.
Did not like the fact that nobody had any sort of like, hey, it's yours, it's yours. Communicate a little better, guys. You're standing right next to each other. Don't look at each other. Say, hey, Elliot, you take it, that kind of thing. So that's a dangerous play right there. Fortunately enough, they got the ball and then a little decent return out of it.
It's on the near side of the field, 1st and 10, Alvin Johnson in at running back. 3 wide at the top of the screen. It's Johnson over the left side. Maybe a yard as he was hit hard and driven back.
Hardy. Mr. Hardy there with Rolijah Hardy.
The near side official gives him 2, so it'll be 2nd down and 8. And thanks to all those watching.
He is a true middle linebacker, that kid. He's
Yeah.
playing a middle linebacker. You don't see that often anymore in high school or in college. And filled the hole nicely on that one.
Burks will keep this one over the left side. Another short gain, maybe 1. It'll be 3rd and 7.
I think they are going to give him 1, but a little hesitant on the run there by Brooks, kind of trying to finagle his way upfield. Probably could have might have hit a little harder and got another extra yard or 2, but again, that's 3rd down now and 7.
Ball's on the 28-yard line. Brooks now forced to pass, looking for Matulovic. Had him open. There it is. There's the flag in the backfield, also on the far side. So 3 flags.
This is, you don't do it 3 times in a game, and this must be something that they're a little undisciplined with their tackling, just reaching out and grabbing whatever, and that's a definite face mask.
So it's a first down Indians. Matulovic was open for a split second, and we talked about the receivers struggling against this defense. That was the first time I've really seen him get open at all today.
Yeah, you're right.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. You take all the mistakes.
There's that offset line.
That's Johnson over the right side.
And that was another face mask right there. They caught it. Another face mask. It's just, you can't grab him and you watch his head turn. Unless I saw something I phantom, but they threw the personal foul face mask. There it is. Silly.
So
silly.
He carried it out to the 43-yard line.
Gain of 4 on that play, and then the penalty on top of it.
So it'll put the Indians on the Lakeland side of the field.
Down to the Lakeland 42-yard line.
So 1st and 10 from the Dreadnaughts 42.
I don't know how you stop it. If you're going to keep doing it.
That's Johnson again over the right side down to the 39. So 3 yards would be 2nd and 7. And not much room there, but a good block by Kane McFalls. He came around. He pulled around the right side.
Yes.
To get Johnson that 3 is that run wasn't much room for Alvin. It's going to be Alvin again up the middle across the 35.
Really close to the first down. I think he's got it.
Down to the 32-yard line, and it is an Indian first down. I believe that's his longest run of the day.
7 yards would probably be right, Josh.
1st and 10 from the 32. Offense gets right back up to the line, and it's right back to Johnson.
They're going to give him 1.
Maybe 1 on the play. The near side official has him back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where the spot is.
So the referee in the pile is standing on the 31. He put it back to the 32. No gain. 2nd and 10.
9:33 left here in the 3rd quarter. Bentley's going to keep this one. Johnson blocks in front of him, but he's hit again at the 30.
See what I mean? He's sort of hopping in the hole. You know what I mean? On that, in the last 2 runs, not much there. He's trying to kind of get skinny on his run there, but he's not getting any sort of momentum going. So now it's going to be 3rd and 8 for the Indians.
Ran right into Chavon Hibbert. So 3rd down and 8. 20 seconds left on the play clock. Looking over at the side, looks like there's some confusion.
Yeah, I think the Indians are just sort of running the play clock down a little bit here. And there's one of the referees was sort of talking to Coach Peacock. I'm not quite
Play
sure
clock's
why.
down to 4, 3rd and 8. And they got to burn a timeout early.
Thought maybe he's going to make him jump, and he did make him jump. He just didn't go across the line of scrimmage.
So you got to burn a timeout early here in the second half. With 8:38 left, ball's on the 30. It's 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, so I think I'm not sure Coach is he's probably got something dialed up. Probably looking at formation on that play to see what he could run. Didn't see anything that he saw. But let's see what he's got dialed up here. Do we say maybe a little Finn Jones?
You haven't seen him yet today.
Up the seam. I know when you got these corners that are good as they are and they're covered tight. I love back shoulder throws. If you can get a quick drop, get that back shoulder throw to Matulovic. He's the guy with the size on that side. Maybe he gets something right there. I don't know. We'll see.
No, Matulovic is covered by Cormani McLean on the far side. Finn Jones down here in the slot. It's Bentley. He's got to escape the rush, and he's sacked. Taken down, and it's 4th down.
It was a double move to Ryan Matulovic. It just looked like McLean didn't bite hard enough. I don't think that that Brooks trusted it enough to make the throw, and he was stopped for a 2-yard loss.
Larry Jones the third. So 4th and 10.
When you take that short drop like that, you got to get the ball out of your hands. If you don't, you're a sitting duck right there. They're expecting, they know you're going to throw it. Now, do you do something that's a little unconventional? Do you try to just throw something down in the end zone and see if you get a penalty or a great play by somebody?
Well, we'll see. 4th and 10. Brooks looking on the near side for in and out of the hands of Keon at the 30, who had a lot of space in front of him.
That was a poor throw right there, Josh. That was a poor throw. That ball was he didn't put much on it. He sort of aimed it a little bit, and at the point where he was going to catch it, Keon had a big opportunity to get that first down. He had open field ahead of him, so the play was dialed up. It just wasn't executed right. Brooks
has struggled a lot in the passing game today. A lot of throws have been low. I was watching him in pregame warmups. I saw a lot of that too, and unfortunately that one bites the Indians as it's a turnover on downs, and the Dreadnaughts take over on their own 32. That's a first down run by Demarius Rucker. Fumble. His ball's on the ground, and it's Indians' ball.
Jacavius Washington.
Another big play by Jacavius, and the Indians get it right back.
Great play right there. We'll see on the replay if we can see who caused the fumble. I think it was Atkins. I'm not sure. Let's see where it comes out. No, it was
Eli Seed.
Eli Seed with the tackle and the fumble caused.
So the ball's on the 36-yard line.
Good play by Eli Seed.
So now let's go get that one back. Let's get something going here for the offense. 1st and 10 from the Lakeland 36-yard line.
So the turnover turns into being just basically a 4-yard loss and first down.
Wildcat formation, and Gator Wilder, the Wildcat quarterback, has got some pull in front of him. Wilder around the far side, and he's hit at the 35 and driven backward. That's number 13, Kamari McKinley.
Along with our friend Mr. Hardy. Again, filling that hole. He's been unaccounted for, it seems like, in the blocking scheme. Actually a gain of 1. Give him 1 on that play.
McKinley went low and Hardy went high, and it's a 1-yard gain. Ball's on the 35. Bentley looking to swing it out to Gator, and it's tipped.
That Gator wasn't even looking for the ball.
No.
And Brooks was sort of a very half-hearted attempt at a pass as well. There needs to be a little energy injection right here, right now. I think they got to get a little bit more fired up. The offensive line's got to get a little more fired up.
Good play by Idris King to tip it away. It's going to be Wilder across the 30.
Down to the 29-yard line.
Still well short of a first down, about 3 yards short. It'll be 4th and 3 from the 29.
too long of a kick for Krilkotov at this point. That was the attempt on the offside play right there.
The offensive line moves around. Switches up the formation. Wilder to the left of Bentley. It's Bentley on the carry.
It's got to be offsides on Lakeland. On Venice? How can it be offsides on Venice? Like he's telling Kiki something, but I thought the kid from the corner was lined up in the neutral zone. But they're saying it's offsides against Venice.
We'll see if there's a replay.
He's obviously not lined up right, and he's not in. He didn't ask the referee if he was okay. And play goes off, and he's offsides.
4th and 8 on the 34.
Again, I said before.
Really, nothing to replay.
Do you throw something up in the end zone?
That's Bentley looking for Matulovic. He's got to scan the field, and he can't escape the rush again, and the Indians turn it over. Just cannot get any blocking.
So, again, this is what I would take Brooks aside, and I say, look, Brooks, it's 4th down, okay? You chuck it up there. You know what I mean? Let's let somebody make a play. I know it doesn't look like it's there, but you got to make a play at some point in time.
Yeah.
You got nothing to lose. That's the worst-case scenario is a sack. They're going to get the ball back. And then that's the thing. So just
can't be gun shy right now.
Right. No, you got situationally you got to look at it a little bit, and you got to say to yourself, what's happening right here.
All right. So the defense will come back onto the field. Ball's on the 38. 1st and 10. Nothing doing here for your Indian offense in the second half thus far.
It's been a time of possession situation. We've run 6 minutes off the clock. 6:15. That's why we got a water break right now. But again, just got to be. You just got to get to the point where you got to trust somebody to make a play. You know what I mean? And, just like I said, look even the little throw to Gator wasn't really of anything that looked like it had a lot going for it. The one run to Gator was good, but again, maybe he's got to stick with it. We'll see what goes.
All right, so Plouffe and his offense will take over. 6:15 left here in the third. And it's going to be a run by Daenerys Johnson. Down to the near side. Out to the 46. Good for an 8-yard gain. Tackled by Carter Dalton and Damon Wilson. It'll be 2nd and 2.
That was a good hard run there. Just following his blockers and then put his foot in the ground and pick an extra 4 yards up for a good 8-yard gain. You don't want to see one of these drives where they go 10 running plays on the field and score at the end of the third quarter up. So we'll see what happens.
2nd and 2. Johnson flips to the right of Plouffe. It's going to be Plouffe on the keeper. Hit by Jack Huber and brought down. Shy of the first. About a yard shy of the first. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Good play by Jack right there. Lewis the defensive end sort of crashed down on the play because they've been running that little dive play, and then Plouffe pulled it, but Huber was right there to make the tackle.
Done a good job today. Ball's on the 47, 3rd and 1. Again, watch this up, man. That's number 22. That's Markel Johnson. It's going to go right to him. Just can't figure that play out.
Even then, they ran right at Damon Wilson right there, and I just wasn't there to make the play. So
quick with the handoff. It'll be 1st down for the Dreadnaughts on the Indian side of the field to the 47-yard line.
They're just taking away. They're just getting it. All they're getting is just a quick seal block on that end, and he's just rubbing off that tackle and bouncing it outside, and 1st down all day. Ball by the Venice 47-yard line. 2
wide receivers, 2 backs. Plouffe's trying to look down the near side of the field. Escapes Damon Wilson. No. They'll flip it up to the tight end, who's open again, down to the 20-yard line. That's number 85, Omari Mixon on the play. Plouffe did a good job getting away from the rush, and we've got an Indian on the field.
It's not Damon Wilson. It is.
That's Elliott Washington.
Didn't see what happened on that one. He jumps, and
someone got underneath him. Wilson makes the tackle, But as we're looking here in the booth at the replay, Elliott jumps up.
He ran into Dominic Wood is what happened.
And we've got a timeout here on the near side, but Elliott is up.
Yeah, just sort of a weird play. He can't go back to his team. He's got to go off the field for a little bit.
Plouffe using his legs to escape the rush to make a play. He's done that a few times today. Not much with the arm, but he's been able to extend the plays for the offense.
Well, we talked about that pregame. He said, he's kind of a playmaker. He's gonna, he's that right there was a playmaker's play. He escapes the rush. He was dead to rights. Damon had him for a sack, and then he makes a little flip pass, and he had two guys standing open because everybody came up
right
to come to stop him, and leaving guys wide open downfield. Good thing Dalen Platt was back there to help trip him up.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 18. It's Daenerys Johnson on the carry, and he's hit. Actually runs into his own player. Credit Damon Wilson with the tackle, but it's a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11.
That was awful close to a holding call there on Damon. Damon had sort of established the edge on that run, and when he did, you could see the tackle had his shoulder pad at full grasp, and he had that shoulder pad basically just a handful of it.
So 2nd and 11 from the 19. Got motion up at the top of the screen. Plouffe looking. Fires passes complete to number 5.
That's Zipperer.
Number 6. And he just seems to get off the ball a bit early. But he's short of the first down.
3rd and 1 at the 9-yard line. A short one, too.
And Plouffe's been able to extend the play a little bit. It's gotten Dalen Platt to bite a couple of times.
Dalen's there. I mean, that was a really good throw. I mean, you look at that throw, and that's not unstoppable, but that's about as good as you can put it. Low, where only his guy can catch it. This is going to be the quick hitter right here.
3rd and 1, it is the quick hitter, and they've got the first. Down to the 6. So 1st and goal from the 6-yard line.
Jacavius Washington led the tackle along with Jack Huber on that one as well. But first down again, number 22,
Markel Johnson
is the MVP of this game right now for the Lakeland Dreadnaughts. He has been steady Eddie, but these first down and these 3rd and 1s and these 4th and 2 runs, he has played a great game. And the blocking's been phenomenal on those plays too, don't get me wrong, but he's been really, really good.
That's the one play the Indians have to try to stop.
Right. But again, I'm not sure. Right now, what do? You're going shotgun, you got power.
1st and goal from the 6. Plouffe is going to keep it. And he dives in the end zone for a touchdown.
And that's what you do when you have that, okay? Plouffe pulls it. They're all keying on number 22, and then there's a nice little hole right there, and off he goes.
So 2:13 left here in the 3rd. Another great drive for the Dreadnaughts.
Yeah, everybody commits. Everybody commits right to the. You see the linebackers. Everybody was right there in the middle of the field, and it wasn't an easy run, but it was about as easy a run as you're going to see on a state championship game.
It's 20-14. We'll see if their kicker Muldoon can convert the extra point. The snap is low, and he pops it up, and he makes it through. What a stroke of luck.
That should be on a blooper reel right there.
As the snap was low, no fault to Muldoon, but we're going to watch it here on the replay. Actually, that's going to be the touchdown replay, but that one's like a double doink almost, as he just popped it straight up, and it just snuck over the crossbar.
Showing the touchdown again. You see quick the hitter. See Dominic Wood kind of bite on that play right there, and then the end crash down, and just Jacavius Washington's got to make a play, but that's a tough play to make right there when you're one-on-one with a guy with a head of steam.
All right, so the Dreadnaughts with their first lead of the ball game, 21-14. 2:13 left here in the 3rd.
All right, 2:13. You know it's going to be a short kick. So guys got to be ready right here. And they kind of messed it up a little bit the last time when they kind of pooched it down here to the right-hand side, or actually towards our side of the field, the home side of the field. And we'll see if everybody's ready. They still got the same formation. He's just pooching in the middle.
Short kick on the far side. Gator Wilder is going to catch it at the 25. And only a couple on the return to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, you start going sideways, you're not going to get anywhere because
those gunners were flying.
They're down too fast, and they're only running that on that particular instance. They're running 30 yards to get to where he's at, so they're going to get there quick. You've got to put your foot in the ground and go upfield and get what you can out of it.
So as we look at the Lakeland kicker, not much of a leg, but that could actually be to an advantage for them.
Right now, it's been working out just fine with these little shorter kicks.
Got to see something here from Brooks in the offense. 21-14, Lakeland with the lead. 2:09 left here in the third. It's Gator Wilder looking for a block, and he can't find one. That was Hardy again. It's going to be no gain.
Just they're a little too much dancing around before hitting the hole, and Hardy's just there to kind of make the play. Gator kind of a sitting duck in that particular situation.
Got to see some urgency here. Tulovic down the bottom of your screen. Sears in the slot. Kiki at the top looking for Finn Jones. Can't pull the trigger, and he's sacked in the backfield again.
It's just a coverage sack at this point. You know what I mean? Some of these are quick pop throws that are just not there. You're kind of trying to get Finn Jones to be sort of like boxing out, sort of like a basketball player, and guys right there, and Brooks can't pull the trigger because he's covered at this point. So
3rd and 12 on the 26. The Lakeland crowd into it. It's Brooks looking for Matulovic. Got to get it up there, and it falls incomplete. 3 guys around him. Luckily, that one didn't get picked off, and it's 4th down.
I mean, he made the throw. I mean, it was sort of a situation where I don't mind the throw. Ryan was the one looking at it, and the other players were sort of just had their backs turned. But not much of a chance on that play to be effective.
And Kotov comes in for the punt. He'll get that one away. It's a good one, end over end. Take a bounce at the 40 and take a big Indians bounce all the way inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. Great punt by Krokotov. And now the defense has to come out and make a stop. 44 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was the best play of the game right there. To flip the field down to the 17-yard line of the Dreadnaughts. That's a 24 and that's a 57-yard punt for Krill on that one. So good job by him.
Defense has to make a play. They're tired. But they've got to make a play here.
Well, I'm going to say this right now. That was only a 9-play drive. Okay, the one big play on the broken play. So I don't think they're too tired. They just got to make a play. You're right. They had the one fumble recovery earlier.
And we've got the receiver was offsides down here on the near side of the field. False start. Finally caught it.
Josh, he's been offsides
every time.
Yeah.
And it's not a homer thing. We're watching it here. He seems to get a head start a lot.
He rolls out of his so he's moving forward as the snap is going, and so that you can see him. He does it every single time.
So it'll be 1st and 15 now from the 12.
And that might have been a situation where, our coaching staff is seeing something. They're saying, "Hey, man, this kid's rolling out of his," and they whisper something in the referee's ear, and they're looking for it. They're
play clock all the way down to 5. And if they don't get up to the line, they're going to get another penalty. That's going to be a delay of game on Lakeland. So that'll back them up another 5.
Are they going to say a called timeout? Yep, they said they got a timeout.
All right, so they did call the timeout. So the Dreadnaughts have to burn one here in the third. Their first time out of the second half. That would have been nice.
41 seconds left in the quarter, 21-14. You didn't come out with much effectiveness on your offense right now, but you're still only a touchdown now. They're down right now.
Right.
12-yard line, 1st and 15. This is where you got to find a way to make a play, and then of course on offense, I will say this. Offensively, we haven't made any, bad plays in regards to turnovers and whatnot. So we're saying Lakeland's sort of beating themselves a little bit, here and there, and we're not. I'm sure that wasn't Coach Peacock's intention, just the way the game is working out. So if we can just make a play right here, get a stop, get the ball back, get good field position, this game is far from over. Far from over.
1st and 15 from the 12. 41 seconds left here in the third. Ball's on the far side again. Still getting off there, looking up top for Zipper. Dalen Platt. Good coverage pass, well incomplete.
I've been waiting to make that double move on Dalen for a while now. Just maybe not at the right moment because Dalen was playing a little off of him and he didn't bite on that. It wasn't a great route. He sort of lazy on the slant, and then Dalen didn't really have any issue trying to bite on it.
It'll be 2nd and 15.
All right, see if the D-line can make a play here, too. Haven't called their names too much in the last this whole half.
Another draw play. That's Daenerys Johnson back to the 16-yard line.
Eli Seed on the tackle on that one, led down along with Tyler Lewis.
So it'll be a 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 12. Or 4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 11, excuse me.
This is what the Dreadnaughts have had a bit of an effect of this when they've been able to get like 6, 7, 8 yards and go for it on 4th down, but it's deep in their territory. But we're going to be at the end of the third quarter right here. It's the end. 2-1.
And it's money time. 4th quarter. Lakeland with a 21-14 lead. We'll be right back here on the broadcast. Let's go Indians. Fourth quarter live from Drive Pink Stadium. 12 minutes to go in this 4S state championship game. Josh Grant and John Masoni here on the call. 3rd and 11 for the Dreadnaughts. That's Plouse looking. Pass intended for Zipper. Falls incomplete. And it's 4th down.
That's Plouse right there. That's the play, the run, the throw down to Mixon before, but that wide open receiver, and he threw him. He missed him by a good three yards out of his, from the outstretched hands of Zipper.
All right, so they'll be forced to punt. That's number 10, Tyler Williams, back to punt once again.
Watch for the fake. We are playing punt safe on this a lot. They're watching to make sure he's an athlete. So even though he's the punter, he's also going to Georgia to play wide receiver.
Sears back on the Indian side of the field on the 49. There's a snap. And it's a sideways punt. Keon will field it on the Dreadnaughts side of the field and will get out of bounds just inside the 40 or right on the 40-yard line.
Good play on that one. That thing was spinning sideways again. He kicks it that way, and Keon did a great job of getting up there and making the play. Ran out of bounds at the 40-yard line. 9-yard return on the punt.
1st and 10 from the 40. 11:51 left here to go in today's 4S State Championship game. Thanks to all those for watching out on our social media pages. Venice Indian Football Facebook, Venice High School Facebook, and YouTube.com VTV News VHS. That's Alvin Johnson to the left of Bentley. First run is to Johnson, trying to set the edge, and he cannot. He's brought down in the backfield. Good for that. Forward progress stops him at 2 yards. A 2-yard loss, but just can't get anything going offensively right now.
Kind of trying to run a little power sweep to the short side of the field, and had the offensive line out there in front of him, but they just mucked it up and nothing they could do. They lost 2 yards, and now it's 2nd and 12. Clock is running. They're going Wildcat. You got Sapula in back blocking for Gator Wilder.
Wilder, the quarterback. It's a flip to Alvin Johnson. Runs into some traffic, and he's hit in the backfield again.
Josh, he's got to cut that up. He cannot try to bounce it. That play there was a chance for him to cut it upfield and get maybe 4 or 5 yards, and he tried to bounce it and make a big play out of it, and that's just not going to work against the Lakeland Dreadnaughts.
Now an obvious passing down here for the Indians. 3rd down and 15 on the 45.
Yeah, we're going backwards. We don't need to be going backwards.
Bentley looking, got to pull the trigger, and he's sacked. Got to just pull the trigger. That's Hardy again. Or that's Joshua Smith, number 8.
And that's 3 more yards. So we've negative 8 yards on 3 plays, and now it's 4th and 18. You got it. That's a smart call right there. You don't want to punt, but you got to punt. Because if you don't, you're going to give them field position, and that's not where you want to be at this point. You're winning field position at this point. That's a good kick.
Very good kick by Kotoff. It's going to be fair caught inside the 15 on the 14-yard line.
It's a 36-yard punt, no return.
9:48 left here in the 4th.
Sorry, John. Great job by him. He needed it. That's a play he had to make right there. You don't want to shank one and give him any momentum because they have none right now on offense.
Under 10 minutes to go.
Basically, they were at their 16 before. Now they're at their 14. So kind of in the same position, just a new set of downs for them.
Ball's on the Lakeland 14.
And our buddy number 22 is in the backfield with Plouse.
Plouse looking on the near side, hits Williams. Pushed out shy of the 20. It's a good 6-yard gain. Or 5-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, I mean that's that pitch and catch that they can do. I mean they're playing off him. They're you don't want to give up anything big, obviously. And 5-yard play, you just got to make the throw and make the catch, and 2nd and 5.
So when he got out of bounds, stopped the clock. 9:45. Ball's in the 19. That's Johnson. Oh, that's Rucker. Makes a big move, and he's got a lot of yards on this play. Pushed out past the 45-yard line. Big run by Demarius Rucker for a 1st down.
Now, Josh, I know people at home can't see what's going on, but like I said earlier, when you cut it upfield and you make the play, he made the play. He didn't try to bounce it to the outside. He saw that whatever he was going to get, he might have only got 6 yards on that play.
Right.
But that's the point. It's not about trying to bounce it for 40. It's about trying to get that, and then you make it into a bigger play.
Ball's in the 47, just shy of the midfield.
That was a huge play right there. Very big.
That's Rucker again. But he's hit in the backfield. Carter Dalton, there's a flag that comes in. Dalton first man through, cleaned up by Adkins.
Are they going to call a face mask on that? I don't know. Oh, penalty.
And it's a hold on Lakeland.
Didn't see it. I didn't see a hold, but it must have been somewhere on the edge, because it looked like everybody on that side of the field wasn't getting blocked at all.
Right.
I didn't see a hole, but obviously we'll take the 10.
So it'll back him up to the 37.
So 1st and 20. See if the Indians can hold him here again.
Rucker with 65 yards on 10 carries thus far. It's Plouffe, fakes the reverse. He drops back. He's got to escape the rush. He's got a block. And he's able to make the play close to the line of scrimmage. Good run by Plouffe. And Damon Wilson pushed him out of bounds.
Damon Wilson took out the yard marker, one of our coaches. He shoved him out of bounds, and everybody went flying.
Pushed him out of the 43.
And the down marker is, well, they're fixing it right now. So he got 6.
Wow, he did a good number on that. It's bent quite a bit. So 2nd down and 14. And we've got a timeout, Lakeland. Heard the fans getting loud. Must have seen something, or maybe there wasn't enough guys on the field. Whatever it was, the Dreadnaughts will have to take a timeout.
Josh, a quick little stat update from the 3rd quarter. Individual quarter stats for the Indians. 14 carries, 18 yards. 0 for 3 passing. For the Dreadnaughts, 8 carries, 30 yards. 2 for 3 passing, 39. So not much offense there in the 3rd quarter.
And you can see as we're watching the broadcast up here in the booth, that offense is tired. But so is the Indian defense. Got to stand up here.
The last play right there, you could see where they were. Damon Wilson coming in uninhibited.
Yeah.
And Plouffe just made a little back step, and he went right by him. Now we ran him down the other way, but nonetheless, there could have been another 9 yard loss on that play, because Plouffe had to double back at least 9 yards to go and get the 6.
So it'll be 2nd and 14. 9:21 left here to go. Rucker's still the back behind Plouffe. And Plouffe is going to pull it down.
Dropped.
And Eli Seed just missed it.
So Seed might have been the distraction on that, because I don't know if maybe he flashed in front of Zipper when it came through, but seemed like the ball got into Zipper quicker than he thought it was. Kind of hit him in the upper thighs. Didn't get his hands out there quick, but Seed might have flashed in front of him, and he might have lost track of that.
3rd down and 14. Good play by Seed.
They're kind of picking on Dalen Platt right now, too. So we'll see if they continue to do so.
Velasquez has made a couple of big plays here today. Carter Dalton splits out on him, and Platt's playing way off Zipper.
Wow, wide open.
Plouffe sees the tight end wide open in the middle of the field. And it's a fumble. Elliott Washington picks it up on the far side. He'll bring it back to the 35, 40, 45. That's the shot in the arm the Indians need. What a play, Elliott Washington. Let's go.
Wow, Mixon, they snuck him out, and Elliott was basically covering 2 men, and Elliott just strips the ball. We're showing the replay right now. Wide open, he's got him. Elliott cross, boom, right out. He was out for sure on that one. So good play by Elliott.
Really That's what 5-star defensive backs do. Elliott Washington with the strip. And now let's get something going. 1st and 10 from the 44. 9:03 left here in the 4th. That's Wilder. Runs into a host of Dreadnaughts, good for a yard. 3 turnovers today for the Dreadnaughts.
Gator's style is to put his foot down and get that little bit. So let's see if he can be more effective than Alvin was on the last series.
That's Gator again. Gash up the middle, down the far side. Good 1st down run for Gator Wilder. Out to the 45-yard line.
Good 10-yard gain and a 1st down for the Indians.
I believe that's Gator's longest run. That's the longest run of the day. Other than the Brooks Bentley touchdown, yeah.
That's it.
It's Bentley, look over the middle, in and out of the hands of Sears.
Keegan, you got to hold on to that one, buddy. It's right there. It touches your hands. I know it wasn't the best throw, but it was there.
Throw was a bit behind him, but if you get your hands on it, you got to bring it in. And don't worry about making the play upfield. Just bring it in. Yeah. 2nd down and 10 on the 45. That's Wilder, a good block in front of him. Damaris Wilder to the 30, to the 25, 20, push down. Big run by Wilder. What a block by Matthew Peevely. Peevely
you got to call a penalty. He just punched Keon Sears in the face. That's ridiculous. That can't happen.
Peevely sprung him free. Ball's on the 19.
Open hand slap that's uncalled for.
Wilder back to the line of scrimmage. The ball is out. He was down. 100% down on the field. So it'll be 2nd and 9.
Got a 1-yard gain right there. A lot happened in the last couple plays here, Josh. From a lot of nothing to a lot of something all of a sudden. So, yeah. See how this keeps going.
Bentley's going to keep it over the right side, makes a cut back into the 15. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Two-down territory, obviously. 7:30 left in the game. You got to go for it on 4th down if you don't make this 1st down.
3rd and 6. Check that. Pass falls incomplete to intended for Matulovic.
No, I think it was for Keon. I think Keon ran the wrong route, and he's limping right now. Yeah, Coach Peacock's talking to Brooks right now. That throw was sort of, you got to make the play on that one. They looked like their communication was not there on that one. Keon ran a route that Brooks didn't see or wasn't expecting, I should say. So we got 4th down now. And 6.
4th and 6 from the 15-yard line.
This tempo that we run sometimes, you get going, all of a sudden you're like, oh, God, it's 4th down.
Yeah.
It seems like, all the momentum, and then you have 3 plays that really don't amount to much. You get, 3 plays. You got a 1-yard run, a 3-yard run, and then you go incomplete. You do it all in a matter of about 35 seconds, especially with the incompletion. So we'll see what they got dialed up here. There's got to be a play. I would hope they had something that they were working on when they needed it, and this might be the one that they've been working on.
All right, so 4th and 6 from the 15-yard line.
And they just blew it in.
Wilder goes in motion. It's a reverse to Keon looking for Brooks. Keon's going to cut upfield for the 1st down. Across the 10. He's close. I mean, he is close to the 1st down. This is a huge, huge spot decision.
Yeah. I think he's going to be short. That spot, I think he is short. I mean, short by inches short. But I can't make that assumption. They have to call in and get in there. This is the play you don't want to see at this moment, because it's going to come down to where the ball is spotted. I can't tell by that if he was actually. No, I think he's going to be short, Josh. Based on where the down marker is right here on the 19, I got a better angle of it. I think he's going to be short by about half the length of the football. That's too bad, though. It was a good play.
We'll see with the measurement.
With that broken chain.
Maybe that could help.
He's short.
He's short.
Yeah.
That's a half a yard short. I mean, that was a tough play for Keon, as that was a reverse pass intended for Bentley. Keon had to cut it back upfield to make something out of it, but the Indians turn it over.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it looked like if you were to run it right here, see, Brooks was covered, and there's the spot. Gosh, that was a terrible. I don't want to complain too much, but here he comes. It just depends on where the ball is and where his foot is. I'm actually pointing at the TV right now. The ball and the spot where his foot is didn't really kind of line up. But anyway.
So the Dreadnaughts take over. That's Daenerys Johnson on the carry.
Colin Atkins on the tackle.
Out to the 18-yard line. 8 yards on 1st down. Looking at the replay up here in the booth again. His knee was actually down. His knee was actually down right on the 15.
So it's just like I said, when the way he went down, he was kind of on top of the guy and rolled on him. I mean, that's the luck of the draw right there. You never.
That's Johnson for the first down. Down the near side of the field, Jaquavius Washington pushes him out on the Indian side of the field at the 48-yard line.
And that's a tired defense right now.
Absolutely.
That's a tired defense.
6:26 left here in the fourth.
The two last plays, you can see that there's not much left in this Indian defense.
And we've got a timeout on the field, our water break. One timeout left here for each team. Yeah, that is a tired Indian defense.
It's get pounded and pounded and pounded. It's not like they're not giving up. I mean, big plays. I mean, two of the runs in this this quarter have been decent sized plays. But man, just tough to kind of to get grinded on with the time, especially the time of possession in the first half. We've evened it out in the second half, but obviously not putting any points on the board.
Right.
So we'll see. Maybe another big play on defense, but to get down where they were right there, and that might have been all they had at this point. But again, if that would have tied the game at that point, Josh. So there's more to that than just the idea that they were going to get it back again and do the same thing.
All right, so 1st and 10, Lakeland from the Indians' 48-yard line. That's Johnson again looking up the middle, and he's got a first down to the 35.
Yeah, Johnson hasn't carried. He's carried a little bit over the load in this half, but he hasn't lost his. He's got energy. That's for sure. That's a 14-yard gain, and he's starting to get big chunks on the ground here.
Down to the 34-yard line.
And they're in no rush right now. No blame for them to run that clock down to 2 seconds. They could grind the clock out on this drive almost if they play their cards right.
You've got Markel Johnson in front of Daenerys. That's Markel. That's Daenerys on the carry. Once again, out to the 27.
Eli Seed and Dominic Wood still playing hard out there.
Just getting chunks, like you said, chunk yardage. 2nd down and 3. So we're down to 5.5 minutes here in the final quarter of this 4S state championship game.
2nd and 3. They can do almost anything they want here. Seems like Mixon has gotten open a lot today. Carter Dalton coming in this way. And
Johnson looking again.
Good play.
Out to the 25.
Really nice play.
Shy of the first, it'll be 3rd and 1.
Galloway did a nice job. He kind of came off his block nice and down low on Johnson, so he held him to a 2-yard gain, but it's 3rd and 1.
And here's that quick hit play.
Yeah, right now this play is scaring me because if he gets outside, he might go. This play has been ready to bust one all day.
You got to think it's going to the up man, Markel Johnson. And it is, and Colin Atkins stops him.
I was actually Trenton Kentai that time, but
it's close. It's close. Another spot here. They may have to measure, and they do have to measure.
They are going to measure.
So the first time, really, you look at it, the first time the Indians have been able to stop them all day, unfortunately, they still have another down.
Right. It's 3rd down. So if it's not, it's 4th and inches, and it's repeat the play that you just saw right there. So, but again, fumbled balls and one more play. There's a lot of things a lot of bounces that can happen right now, and they have happened all day.
And we'll see what the measurement is, and they got it by the tip of the football. So 4:23 left here in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10, Lakeland from the 24-yard line. And they'll run the clock.
Again, rightfully so. 4:19 left in the game. they can run 18 more seconds. They'll be inside 4 minutes when the ball is snapped.
Four seconds, they snap it. And we've got a false start.
Lakeland has not helped themselves with the penalties today at all. I'm looking now. That's 13 penalties for the Dreadnaughts. And a lot of them were 15-yarders. They've had some big chunk penalties. We sort of settled it down a little bit and got ourselves just one penalty so far here. So,
and frankly, to call it fair, Lakeland penalties have been the best Indians offense all day. Well, struggled against this linebackers and secondary.
The momentum with the drives for sure. Turnovers and penalties. We talked about earlier how they play such a big part of stuff.
He'll fake it on the sweep, and that's a run by Daenerys up the middle to the 21-yard line.
Kintai and Lewis combined on the tackle.
Good for 3.
Actually, that was 8.
Excuse me.
Penalty, but it was a good run.
So it'll be 2nd down and 7. It's 3:13 left here in the 4th.
Like I said, another first down. We only have one timeout left. Game over at that point. I think you're going to see them run the clock out on us.
Lewis again will hand it off to Daenerys, who cuts back up the middle. Colin Atkins with the tackle and brings him down at the 20. Good job by Colin. And Lakeland looking for a penalty there. Not sure where the penalty was.
He was still running.
You know, as pro-Venice as you and I are, we also call it like it is, and not much of a not sure why they made a lot of noise there.
No, I get it. It looked aggressive. I get that. Their guys are chirping a little bit. That's fine.
3rd down and 6 on the 20.
You know, a lot of times people want other teams just to quit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen. They want him to quit. You want him to lay down, take your beating, and that's not what's going to happen at all.
2:12 to go. Handoff is to the up man. That zipper on the ball's on the ground.
Now,
flags come in. The flags are on the field.
Yeah, that was a face mask. Colin kind of reached up and grabbed his helmet, I guess you would say, or kind of pulled his head down, and that's going to get called every time. As much as the ones we had, that was as obvious. So it'll be half the distance, which will give him the first down and basically end the football game right here.
It looked like the ball was on the ground. It was not. It is a face mask. And it was almost one of those penalties where Colin just tried to grab whatever he could.
Yeah, exactly.
So 2:04. And it's a first down Lakeland on the 11.
So 1st and 10 at the 11. I'd like to see the Indians hold them right here if they could. But again, with one timeout, they can get a first down. But I wouldn't suspect they're going to score or they're going to run the clock out.
Now inside 2 minutes, there's a flag.
Huber again out there. Huber, Seed. Those names have been called quite a bit today.
It's an illegal shift on Lakeland.
Honestly, the penalty is almost a benefit to them. They get another down. They can run it out. So it's,
Yeah, those linebackers for the Indians have had a lot of action today. Huber, Seed, Dalton have had to make a lot of plays.
That's what. So Coach declined the penalty because he doesn't want them to have the first down or the extra down. So he declined it.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 11-yard line. Minute 30 left here. And they're asking to wind the clock.
Over many years, there's been
So they have to reset the game clock to 1:39.
So that over the years, this sort of when to call a timeout, how much you have, it's not easy to figure out in the heat of a football game.
Right.
You're like, what do we do? How do we do it? When do we call the timeout? You know what I mean? Would they even consider throwing the football? I would say I would be stunned if they did. But I would give Venice an extra timeout. It's just a dive play over and over again until they, whatever happens, happens.
So Harris Johnson brought down after a couple.
There's the timeout.
It'll be 3rd down and 5. Still 133 if the Indians can stop them here. Still got some time left.
Well, Josh, obviously there's time on the clock and you're still within one score. There's always hope. But it's been a tough second half. Looking at it from the proper perspective, I mean, Lakeland has from the opening snap has been the dominant football team today. And right now,
well, let's say their 3rd snap, as L.A. Washington made that interception.
Yeah.
But Indians got the quick punch in the mouth.
Yeah.
But Lakeland has lasted the rounds, and they've won each round.
And by the way, I mean, with all due respect, it's been just a grinded out, football game. It's really, I mean, there's been some plays being made. Don't get me wrong. There's athletes on this field, but we talked about all the athletes all over the place. This has been about the line of scrimmage. This has been about 4 yards and a cloud of dust.
3rd and 5. Johnson again.
He's short down to the 2.
Down to the 2-yard line. It'll be 4th and 2.
Washington and Dalton on the tackle.
So this one will tick down as we've got a timeout on the field. 3rd down and 2, and the clock's still running.
There shouldn't be any timeouts because they're going to wind it down to. So it's 4th and 1.
I wouldn't think I was a little confused. I wouldn't think they'd call a timeout. 4th down and 1. Under a minute left here. Indians got to make a stop. And it's Markel Johnson. They stop him shy of the goal line.
But it could be a 1st down, and that's the ball game if it is.
We'll see.
Oh, and a penalty on top of everything else. So who would that be on?
That came in after the play. First, we got to see where the spot is. Then we got to see where the penalty was called.
I can't recall how close to the 10. I can't see if they stopped him. Okay, so I can't really tell. If they did, it's a dead ball penalty. If they stopped them short, who the penalty on is crucial. Yeah, so that's the game. So
it's a 1st down Lakeland.
1st down Lakeland. The ball's going to be. They're going to move it a half yard against Venice.
And 44 seconds left. Ball's the half-yard line. And essentially that does it here for the Indians.
They just got to take a knee, and that's it. I would say this, you don't want to run it in here because there's no reason to, because
right.
that actually gives Venice a chance. There is no chance if you take a knee. And that's what they're going to do. It looks like they're going to take a knee.
Lakeland in victory formation. And they'll knee it.
And that's it.
And that'll do it here in the 4S State Championship game as the Lakeland Dreadnaughts celebrate and bring home the state title 21-14 over your Venice Indians.
So, Josh, we sat in this booth for both ends of this situation like this. A 21-14 loss to Venice Indians. But I will say this. For as proud as I was of last year's team and what they accomplished, I can tell you that to go through a season that these kids have gone through, and these coaches and these fans and these parents and these sponsors and everything else, with a Category 5 hurricane hit our town.
It was.
To withstand the time off, the amazingly tough schedule we had, to go through all these different things, for them to come back to the state championship for a second time in a row. This is this is the moment, Venice fans, that you're going to look back and talk about 20 years from now, 30 years from now, because this is unprecedented. To win state championships is one thing, and to do all the good things that have happened over the years at Venice High School, from Jim Powell to Nick Coleman to everybody who's been a coach here. This right here, these kids, it'll be very, very hard for anybody to ever duplicate what they've done. To come here, that these kids that are here, that they won a state championship and came back and tried to defend the state championship against a unbelievable program in Lakeland Dreadnaughts.
And especially when you could have looked at this season from the get-go as a rebuilding year.
Absolutely.
Brand new offensive line, brand new quarterback, senior quarterback, first year in the system. Hats off to, and I don't say this because we're on our own broadcast, but our coaching staff did an unbelievable job coaching these guys up today. And for as badly as we played, we were still in the ball game all the way up till the end here.
Yeah, no doubt, and no doubt about it. And again, making plays where they could. I mean, Elliott Washington was hurt a little earlier in the game. Comes back, makes a play, fumble recovery, down to the 9. You're right there. You're an inch short from a first down to maybe get the tying play. This is not a situation where Venice came in here, and I mean, good. Let's face it. I admittedly said that Lakeland looked fantastic all game at their offensive line, winning the line of scrimmage, but there was no quit in the Indians. They didn't quit at all. Even that last play, they didn't score. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. So pride to everybody. Love to all these kids and these coaches and what they did, and our town should be proud of what this team accomplished this year.
And hats off especially to our seniors. You look at guys, I didn't even mention it, Elliott Washington making his 50th start for varsity, 56th game appearing school record. You look at Damon Wilson, you look at Trenton Kintai, who fought all the way back from a terrible knee injury. You look at all the seniors who have done such a great job, and they should. You think moral victories. You hate to feel that way after a tough loss, but what an outstanding effort. Keon Sears, what an outstanding effort all year for these Venice Indians. And hats off to the Indians faithful for making the drive out to here, out to Drive Pink Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. And hats off to all of you for watching on our broadcast today. It's been a season, and you look at the youth of these Indians, you look at the experiences that happened this season, and this can only make you better.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't express the unbelievable respect I have for these kids and these coaches, what they did. I mean, it is what it is. It's somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. That's an old adage, right? But it is the truth. And today was Lakeland's day. They did a fantastic job from their side of the ball. No disrespect to them any way, shape, or form. They're the ones who won the football game today, and they deserve all the accolades, and they deserve that championship trophy.
All right, so for all of us here at Venice Indian Football, for Vibrant Aspect Media, who brought you all the action each and every game, for the interns from my VTV News class to our sponsors, and all of you here behind the scenes, and all of you out there watching, we thank you. We appreciate you for tuning in all season long, and we'll be back bigger and better next year. John, anything you want to close?
No, Josh, I can't say any better, but you just said, I said, again, thank you to all of our fans, our sponsors. We can't forget them, and the parents as well. Parents are so much involved in what happens with these kids in our program as well. Appreciate everything they've done, and again, big shout out to all the Venice Indians from past football teams to this year.
Right.
We know we feel you. We feel you. It sucks to lose, but it's we feel the love, and they're going to feel a lot of love too. So it's just a great year, and I'm looking forward to next.
So again, the Indians fall 21-14 to the Lakeland Dreadnaughts. It was a game. It was an experience on this road trip, and we just thank you for hanging around with us all season long. For John Massoni, I'm Josh Grant, wishing you all a great evening. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2023. Go Indians.